Yo, what is up? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Yes, sir. Hopefully my camera's looking right. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. We're good. How's everybody doing today, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another DnL&x Fitness live stream show that we got going on for you today. Today, we got an early start this morning. And why is that banner up? We got an early start for you this morning. Oh, got my do-rag in the background, I see. But we got an early start for you this morning, man. I got stuff I got to do today, but we are here today to get this thing cracking and getting it started. Crack early as crack in the morning. It is 8 a.m. over here-ish. And if you're in Cali on the West Coast, it's going to be 6 a.m. New York, East Coast is going to be 9 a.m. But we got this video. We got this live stream going on earlier today. We got our topics to go over. Thank y'all for being here. And thank y'all for tuning in. Today we got to go over our fitness, our three topics of today, which is going to be fitness, economy, and AI. Man, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a lot going on. We got school get ready to start back up. It's the first of the month, so you got to get ready to pay your rent. And if not, then the rent man is going to come and hit you with them late fees. No excuses. They just going to look at you and say, so you better make sure that that rent money is due and that you go ahead and pay them bills and get everything taken care of, because it ain't no joke out here. If you want to contribute to today's show, there's a Cash App and a Venmo. Cash App, Daniel2888. Venmo, Danny-Daniel-00. Yes, sir. And if you're on YouTube, do me a favor. Whenever you see that little thumb come up, hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. We are simultaneously streaming on multi-platforms. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Let me double check to see if that thumb came up. Did it come up? It did. Okay, cool. I just want to double check. I didn't see it the first time. But we are simultaneously streaming. So go check us out. If you're on Twitch, you get a commercial. Migrate over. You got three other choices. You can go to Twitch, Kick, or Rumble. I don't think there's any ads that go on that play over there, so I think you should be good if you do catch an ad or whatnot. But with that being said, man, we're gonna dive into today's show. We do have stuff we got to go over, and I am kind of on the time crunch, so I can't be on the show too long today. So we're gonna kind of smoothly sail through everything that we have. Okay, not gonna be too much going on, but it is Friday. So hopefully you had a good week, and if you didn't, always remember what Mr. Child tells you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
And as long as you didn't become unalive, you are good to go. You got another day to make it a great day. Keep pushing, keep striving, keep grinding, because there ain't nothing else to do at the end of the day, so you might as well just keep grinding. You might as well go work out. And try your best to eat healthy, because they not playing with us out here, boy. They out here trying to give us all sorts of poison in our foods. We trying to tell them over the years to stop putting BPA in our water and stop polluting our water and quit ingesting all of our chickens and foods with all sorts of, hormones and steroids to fatten them up. But they don't do nothing. They don't listen to us. They just look at us and say, so with that being said, you just got to make the best of it. You know what I mean? Figure out the right diet that's for you and just keep it pushing, keep it moving, and keep on working out. And, know your macros, know what you got to hit. And, each and every day, get closer to greatness. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's show because we have to go over our topic. So fitness today, we're going to go over just a random. Today is going to be a random fitness segment because I was wanting to kind of look at how fitness is looked at across social media platforms. We're going to use TikTok for this one and just look at how fitness is viewed across social media and see what people do as far as fitness content goes. See if we can learn something from fitness, or is fitness just a big vanity show / segue into OF content or whatever it is, or is it just a flex off to show how much juice and steroids that you're taking? So we're going to go in on the fitness topic of the day and just randomly look at different sources of content and see if we can learn something, or if, we're just going to have our egos crushed because everybody else looking so great and we still look like trash. Next, we're going to get into the economy portion of the show. That portion of the show is going to be, we're going to look at last week, silver hit an all-time high. I might go into a little video that talks about that. Not too much, but a little bit. We're going to see about silver, precious metal, hitting an all-time high Or we might just skip over that part, depending on how time goes, and get right into the massive layoffs that's been happening, because they haven't stopped. They're still going. They're still coming. They're still hitting us like a ton of bricks. Chevron has done a massive layoff. So we're going to look at that and see about other people talking and explaining their situation that they're having with trying to find jobs, trying to basically work in this economy and try to make the best of a bad situation of what we're in right now, because we're in a hell of an economic downturn. And look at how many people Chevron has laid off. You know what Chevron is? Chevron, you know, the gas, oil company or whatever. I know them as gas, but I think they're gas and oil company. But they had massive layoffs, and we're going to go into that and look at that as well. Then we're going to go into our final segment of the day. It's going to be AI. And AI, we're going to look at what happens when AI takes over all the jobs. And we're going to see how that potentially may pan out. I don't see any positive coming out of it, but, you know, it wouldn't hurt to take a look and take a stab at it and see exactly what's been put together and what could possibly happen if AI takes over the world. I mean, it's going to seem, I'm pretty sure it's going to be bad. I mean, there's really no positives that can come out of it, because when people don't have a sense of purpose, what do? I don't know what you do. It seems like you do a lot of degenerate activity and basically be stuck in a loophole of survival mode and low frequency thinking and action. So hopefully that's not the case, but we're going to find out. So we'll see. Whoops, where'd it go? There you go. Okay. So now that we got an understanding of where we're heading on this YouTube live stream, we're going to go ahead and dive into the first topic of our show. So let's go ahead and get that banner put up. Bam. There we go. We got the first banner rocking. So we're good there. Make sure all my things are playing. I don't want nothing to be hung up or whatnot. Okay. I think we're good so far. I think we are. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and slide into the first portion of today's show. Let's start off with the fitness intro.
Let's get ready for the fitness segment of the show.
All right, we got our buff Latina redhead over there. Shout out to her. A round of applause for her. Sheesh. Let me make sure my phone is turned off. Okay, cool. We're good. Phone is turned off, so we're good to go. We ain't gonna have no loud telephone ring interruptions. All right, so cool. What we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna go ahead and look at some random folks on this fitness segment here today. Or should we look at random folks on this fitness segment? I don't know. I may kind of freestyle it today on fitness. There might be something that I actually might need to cover. Actually, I think there is. Let's go ahead and see this real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me whatchamacallit? Let me pull this up. So let's see what happens.
And so what makes you think you won't meet?
Do we have, what was I thinking? Let's see right here real quick. We were actually gonna go over, never just messed up big time. Oh yeah, this is what I should have said. Okay, we're gonna look at a couple randos, and then we're gonna go into Mr. Joey Swole himself. I forgot about him. He had a situation that just went down recently. So Mr. Positivity, Joey Swole. You know what? Let's look at the random stuff first. Excuse me. Then we're gonna slide in to see exactly what happened with Joey Swole. I forgot about that guy. So here we go. I'm gonna start off here. And then we're just gonna migrate all the way down. So we can just go over and over and over. Can we just go down with these? I don't know how this works, because I would want to just go and just slide all the way down, pause, and see. Okay, we're good. So this is how we're gonna do it. This is how we're gonna. Can I go up? Only down. Okay, cool. There's a down arrow. All right, cool. Here we go. So we're gonna start off with this first video here. All right, so we're just gonna go through and just look at different things that people post on fitness. See if we can kind of gain any knowledge or insight, or do we just see vanity and flexing? Is there anything that we learn? Is there anything that we can figure out or whatever? Or is it just a flex off of just people being in shape and, you know, some extreme vanity or whatever the hell it is? Because this is going to be fitness in America in today's society. So let's go ahead and get right on to it. Let me change that banner. So first we got a back. Yes, sir. We got somebody's back right there. And I ain't gonna lie. I am enjoying that right there. I don't know. Let's get this back round of applause. Jesus. Get some volume over here. It's an early morning. Got my coffee. So as we see here, we have a nice chocolatey chocolatey melanated skin here. We got the back going, so we're just gonna slide on down and see what we got next here. All right, we got some more nice chocolatey, you know, snatched waist, drumstick thighs going on over here. All right, so as we see, TikTok is TikToking, doing what TikTok does. Looks like she's in her garage getting a workout in, or her husband's garage. I think that's the same person, so we got the same person twice. All right, we got this gentleman right here who's looking at before creatine, then after. Jesus Christ, bruh, that cannot be creatine. Is that really creatine? Ain't no way in hell that's creatine. Nah, bro is lying. You're lying. That's not creatine. I take creatine. I ain't like that. That ain't me. No, sirree. Somebody says he looks much better before creatine. You had the aesthetics. All right, before was better. I don't see how this was creatine though. I don't understand it. And then we got a different language here. I can't read. Bro went from Captain America to the Hulk. He sure did. I have to say that for sure. The cut will go insane. I agree with that if he does it right. All right, so then we got here. This 18. Dang, bro, you're 18 years old. This is 18. This is 18. Jesus Christ, this is not right. What do y'all think? Y'all think steroids or natural? What do y'all think? Do y'all think steroids or bro just blessed with some hellified genetics? What do you think? Somebody said 18th cycle. 18th cycle. I hate to say it, but I kind of want to agree with him on that one. With or without trend, that's insane at 18. It is true. It is true. Lifetime Natural 2006. Let's see. Myostatin deficiency plus trend. Yeah, that is true. Somebody said I'm about to rage quit, bruh. Which is what I say. It's like when you see this and people look crazy like this, there's no way that people can feel like this physique is obtainable. But I don't know. If he's 18 on juice, he could be. There's a possibility. What we got here? All right, so somebody says you want the aesthetics, train your shoulders. And again, let's see. So is he naturally training or is he juicing? That's the question. That's the question. 100 lateral raises a day. I don't know if I do. Do I do 100 lateral raises in my workout? I do probably about 50 to 80, I would say. Yeah. Bro's in the gym for 12 hours. Shrugs, target, traps. Bro physiques is 8 times better than mine. All right. So as we see, I'm going to failure every time. That's good. Shrugs are pull day. I never thought of it like that. That's actually could be 18 sets, 2 sets of failure. So kind of like if we're looking at here, what are we learning? What are we figuring out? He's showing us what he does to get this particular muscle in his shoulders. And my question is like, are you natural or are you juicing? Because that will give people a positive understanding or a positive perspective on if this is obtainable, natural or not. That's the whole thing. So I'm always curious on if people are natural or not, because then that'll give people an understanding of what they need to do to obtain this physique. That would be my whole thing. I'm not saying that you can't attain it, but if he's juicing, then people should know, so therefore they can understand that they need to juice to get to that point. But he does show you his workout regimen, so I give him that. So that seems pretty decent. And here we go again. We got same young 18-year-old bro here again. This is 5 months ago. All right, so 5 months ago. And if he's gonna, Jesus Christ, he was okay. Yeah. Bro's on a juice. What in the genetics? Or maybe I don't know if he's in the. I don't know if he's on juice or not. That could just be him naturally. I can't sit here and say he's juicing. I really can't. I really can't. I cannot say if he's juicing or not. But if he's not, then you are not natural, bro. Well, you never know. He could be. But then again, at 18, bruh, yeah, you got me wondering. All right, so here we go again. Same chica from earlier. Yes, snatch waist. All right, so as we see here. All right, what are we learning? We got some glute raises. We had some, I forgot what those other ones were called. All right. Now, how do you work out with something up your butt the whole time? I need to look like this by tomorrow morning. Who else is here from that one girl's video about workout clothes? Woo, the body is T. I got to go a little harder. How do they stay on? Your body is T. Bro, I searched my city. I searched my city and this is what came up with. All right, so far as we're seeing, we're just seeing people do workouts, and I ain't gonna lie, I post the same way on my workout video. And at the end of the day, when you think about it, the way TikTok pays out, if you can get what is it, 10,000 followers or more, and then have, so many likes and all that stuff, then you get paid for stuff like this. So that's why, you may not see anything healthy over here in the fitness world. What we got here?
The Olympics.
All right, so we got this lady clearly showing cake. So let's see what she got to say.
Fucking jeans. I should be in the Olympics. Listen, I don't do jeans. Okay. Finally, I splurged and I got fit jeans. Every time I go out, I wear the same pair of black jeans, and they're about to shit the bed.
Shut up, bitch!
I like a super high-waisted, like up to my fucking neck, high-waisted, skinny black jean. I know she knows. She knows.
Oh my god.
I know she knows. I didn't know what size to get. I was trying to base it off of the Instagram model, so I got a medium. I should probably take a shower before I put these on, but let me tell you something. Putting on jeans, my friend,
You lying ass bitch.
Alright, I'm exaggerating. These slid up real nice for me.
Did she really just ask if she should take a shower before putting on something else? Like, you nasty.
The only thing I don't love, look how fucking small this belt hoop is. Like, I think I have a small belt like this, but my belts are big. Like, you cannot wear a belt that you want, but you can wear a small one. I found a small belt. We're gonna try. Another thing is, the pockets. Pockets are like high. I don't know, maybe I just have a high ass. Okay, here's my small belt. I like these, I do. They're comfy. I feel like I'm wearing leggings. Like, if I need to, like, squat at the bar, or if I'm out to dinner, you have plenty of, like, room to eat and breathe.
Yeah, so this is what happens when people get paid for social media. You get content like this. Not saying anything is wrong with it, because she's not the only one that does it, but, you get paid for, said content. 710,000 likes, over 700,000 likes on that one. So that's what we get. Gotta go ahead and turn that one off. So let's see, she's at Planet Fitness, where they have I think it's like a $2 membership. So, and you can't drop the weights because they have an alarm that goes off. It's called like a lunk alarm. So it is what it is. But as we see here, so we have a Planet Fitness going on. We got our workouts being shown. And this one, 485,000 likes. As long as you can get paid for posting content on this, it doesn't really matter about the fitness. As long as you look good, then you get paid good. And I'm not knocking these ladies at all, because, LL Cool J over here. Yeah, I mean, like, can't knock it. She does bodybuilding because she's posing. At least I assume she's bodybuilding because she does posing. But as we see here, we got over 600,000 likes on this one. And so, this is the fitness world that we're in right now. This is fitness in a nutshell, as you can see. Just everybody posts for the vanity of it. And this is kind of where we're at. This is just how it looks. But she's doing drop sets, so shout out to her. She's getting it in. All right. Well, I mean, you should have went back to the outfit you had on earlier instead of covering up. That's not fair. All right. We got, oh boy, what we have here. Hold up. I know who you are. I know who this is. I know who this God. Oh, man. Wow. Yes, sir. We got the contortionist over here. Sheesh. All right. Oh, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. All right. All right. Let's not get too distracted. All right, we got a young gentleman here. All right, he's saying belly fat no, abs yes. He's not saying anything. He's just showing you what he does to get those abs, which is a half truth, because abs start in the kitchen, not necessarily on the floor, but also it is good to have a strong core, so I can't knock him. He's halfway right. So this is what we have here. He's showing us what he's working on as he does his workout. So shout out to this young man right here. 2.5 million likes on this video. So, excuse me, what he's doing is working. You know, he's actually showing what to do to get the abs. I would say post a diet regimen to get to that point. But you know, we live in a popcorn society where knowledge is not power. But I'm not knocking him. Get your money, young king. I see you. And he's doing the dang thing. So shout out to him. All right, what do we have here? We look like we have a veteran or a army vet here, or whatever branch of military that they're in. All right, this guy looks a little bit too serious. I don't know why he's so damn serious. He needs to calm down just a little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit too serious. Chill out, bro. All right. Oh wow. The athleticism is great. You can't knock it here. I think the athleticism is kind of one-sided though. You know, she's just doing squats and he's doing all sorts of flips and acrobats. Alrighty, we got this here. Like I said, he only got 300,000 views for this, and bro is the most active out of everybody. I kind of feel like he's got cheated on this one, but then again, everybody, you know, they looking like it's going to be hard to do. So as we see here, we have, you know, fitness on a scale I don't understand in this case. I mean, I could get that you guys are pretending like you're holding Skitty Pop Pops. I get it. And then here, I don't even think she's sweating. I think she baby oiled up on this one. Threw a little baby oil, sprayed a little water on the skin to make it look glowing, glistening. All right, then we got this here. Got the deadlift. This is a workout I do not understand the point of, except, well, I'll take that back. I do understand the point of deadlift, but I can't do it with this bar here. I found a bar at the gym that I go to. It's like an Olympic style deadlift bar that we use or that they have. And using that bar saves my back, because yeah, if you lift wrong on this, you're going to screw your back all the way up. But yeah, no, I've never seen anybody in the gym do this right here. Like people looking at somebody do deadlifts. I just never seen this. I feel like this is all skits, but you know, to each his own. Shout out to her. 1 million views for this video. 1 million. That's crazy. 1 million. Okay, got it. 3 years of back progress. Okay, let's see what we got. What you do in 3 years, young man? Let's see what we got here. Oh wow. Oh man. In 3 years. All right, he's getting in shape, man. And understand, your back is the very pivotal part of your body. Your back is what helps you develop good posture about yourself. So a strong back is probably just not, if not more, is probably more important than a strong front, if that makes any sense. So that's actually a hell of a transformation. Shout out to him. We got to give this young man a round of applause for that one. Round of applause for him on that one. Shout out to him for sure on that one. So as we can see, up, hold on. Something went wrong on the phone. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're good. So as you can see here, as we go through and look at the fitness world of TikTok, at least, like for example, this right here, I don't know who this is going to help or what anybody's going to do with this, but when you get paid for content views, then it kind of just, it's more of a entertainment base as opposed to actual fitness base. So it's kind of, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess if it keeps you motivated, I guess, then it is what it is. What do we have here? And this is an old video. It's 2022. It's 2023, 21. All right, so we're getting on. There's Young King again. But as you can see, this is about as informative as we got. But he didn't say anything. He just kind of pointed to pictures and showed the workout. But it looks good, looks great. But this is kind of where we're at in the fitness world of today. In this little pump, this 2023. So we don't really learn much as long as you could do stuff without having to talk. It's kind of where we're at in today's society when it comes to fitness in a nutshell. So yeah, it's not really much of it's not really much to do anymore. It's just kind of, you know, if you can. She got 1.3 million views for this. All right, let's see where we're going. Where are we going? Oh, okay, I see it now. I see it. Okay, okay. But 1.3 million. Oh, this is 2021. This is a long time ago. That's why. But as you can see, this is kind of where we're at with the fitness world. This is kind of how it works in a nutshell. It's nothing really too informative. It's more of a situation where, you know, you just preach motivation or you just show your gains or your vanity, and you don't really learn exactly what to do. You don't learn a diet that it takes that correlates with the workout that you have to do. You don't really are taught how to put two and two together. It's just, you know, you see people through the eyes of what they've already accomplished. So it's kind of like not fair to the person who's starting out because they don't understand exactly what to do until you go out and you get a coach who actually knows what they're doing. And then you can sit down and, you know, come on, stop. Then you can sit down and put in the work and see for yourself that your diet and your workouts go hand in hand. And if you don't have a good diet, you're not going to reap the benefits of the workouts. You'll have that beginner's luck at the beginning, but to dial in and get to exactly where you want to get to, it takes a little bit more. It changes the game a little bit. But shout out to all those content creators who were, you know, creating content, because at the end of the day, get your money. So shout out to y'all. What is this? Okay, we're good. All right, so next we have here is we're going to check out speaking of the fitness world, we're going to look at Joey Swole. All right, so we're going to look at a video from Greg Doucette. There's a situation that happened with a guy named Joey Swole. If you don't know who Joey Swole is, he's like the do better guy. He used to basically call out everybody who used to do stuff on fitness back in the day when women used to post content on fitness about people walking in front of their camera or, you know, exposing people, claiming somebody was staring at them to get views and calling them creeps and all that stuff. He was a guy that was like, do better, the positive gym guy. Recently, there's something happened. I don't know. I'm about to find out with you at the same time. I guess there's a situation that happened with him and Hulk Hogan, who recently passed away. Rest in peace. I don't know exactly, but we're going to look at Greg Doucette's video, Fair Use, and we're going to see exactly what happened with Joey Swole and what all the hoopah and hoorah is about, and what exactly did this positive influencer, fitness influencer dude who clearly juices the hell out of steroids, see what he did wrong and figure out why they're canceling him. So let's go ahead and pull this guy up on the screen and see exactly what the issue is, because I'm actually pretty curious my dang self, because I heard about it, but I never looked into it. So let's see what Joey done did wrong. Here we go.
Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that.
He posted an old photo of him dressed as Hulk Hogan, and that triggered people so bad that they had to cancel him? You really think you did the right thing? Oh, you're so cool. The big bad wolf. You all canceled Joey Swole.
That's it?
You did a bad thing. You went after Joey Swole for posting about Hulk Hogan on the day of his death, and now he's quit YouTube. Why would you do such a thing?
Quit
okay,
YouTube?
There's so much to unpack here. A, Joey Swole needs to stop giving a shit about what you all say about him. That's step one. Step two, you all need to stop giving a shit about what Joey Swole says about somebody on the day that he dies. Last I checked, when people die the day of their death, you speak about all the good things that they did. You don't go on a tangent listing, he was a racist and he did this and he did that. Hulk Hogan was a hero to millions of people around the world, including me. I made a video about him. I said all kinds of good things about him. I didn't say anything bad except for he took steroids and he probably died sooner than he should have. I said, gone too soon. You shouldn't cancel people for having an opinion that's different from your own. If Donald Trump had passed away when that bullet hit his ear and hit somewhere instead, and somebody said, you know, I really liked Donald Trump. He was such a great person. I liked all these things that he did for me. Are you then going to shit on him and say he touched that woman and did this and did that? Or could you not just let them think what they want? Hulk Hogan was a father, a friend to many other people. Just because he made a lot of mistakes doesn't mean that on the day that he died that you can't honor his memory. To the same extent, some of you saying this are the same people listening to, who's that stinking singer, Chris Brown? Oh, Chris Brown, he can beat women up, but that's okay. I'll sing along to his music. There are so many bad people that have done so many bad things, and you all just turn a blind eye and don't give a shit. But this time, it's Joey Swole, a man who's defended thousands of victims.
All right, so I think if all he did was posted a workout video of him in a Hulk Hogan outfit doing workouts, I think that's positive. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Joey Swole is pretty lame for the fact that he actually listened to what people said and don't have the balls to like stand on his own 2 feet. Because the video that I just seen with him working out in a Hulk Hogan outfit, that was, to me, that was positive. There was nothing negative about that. And the fact that people's words got to him, it's kind of weak on his side. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, let your balls hang and like be a man. Stop, I'm sorry for hurting people's feelings. Like, forget their feelings. You didn't do nothing wrong. You showed that Hulk Hogan was a gym inspiration to you, and you were, you were honoring him by showing a video that you did back in the day when you were dressed as Hulk Hogan working out as him. There was nothing wrong with that. A lot of people did go on the internet and was like, oh, he's a racist and who cares about him dying? Like, a lot of people were saying stuff like that about him. You know what I mean? And you posted a workout video of you doing curls dressed as him. I just don't understand why you folded and didn't have what it takes to stand on your own 2 feet and be like, look, I'm honoring the man. I'm not saying nothing bad or negative. And then you canceled your YouTube account. Like, that's weak in my eyes. So Joey, you didn't do nothing wrong. I looked at it as something you did, but was positive. I'm cool with it. Whoever complained about it, you need to learn how to tell people to go to hell sometimes. You know what I mean? Or, to go kick rocks or something. Like, grow some balls, bro. Like, you can still be positive but have a backbone at the same time. So I don't see what he did was wrong.
And so on the day that he needed defending, where were you all? Trying to cancel him, and that you did. He posts an old video of him dressed as Hulk Hogan.
How is this wrong? Hulk Hogan passes away and you post a video showing, this is somebody you looked up to. Maybe this is somebody you dressed up as Halloween. There's nothing wrong with this. I just think it's wrong that you actually allow people's words to get to you. You canceled your YouTube account and you're out here apologizing on the internet and allowing people to cancel you for this. This is not wrong. If this is all you did, if this all you did was posted a video showing you working out, to me, this is honoring somebody. This isn't tearing them down or nothing like that. So the fact that you caved in and allowed people to quote unquote cancel you, like, come on, Joey, you gotta have some balls about yourself. Don't apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. Like I said, more people were bagging negatively on Hulk Hogan, calling him all sorts of names and all sorts of stuff like that. I don't see that you did anything like that. So why are you apologizing? You know what I mean? So, and plus, you got to remember you were the positive fitness person as far as like telling people to do better and all that stuff. So when they had an opportunity to probably get just the slightest thing on you, they probably was like, oh, we can go after his neck now. And you let them win. So you got to think about that.
His hero. And he says, Hulk Hogan, I have fond memories of him and this and that. And then people are saying, do you not know what he did? Do you not know what he said? And he's thinking, no.
Exactly. So people are right there saying, do you not know what he did, what he said, and all this stuff? It's like, it doesn't matter what he did or what he said. If that's somebody you looked up to, that's somebody you looked up to. I mean, stand on it. If that's who you believed in, if that's who was a role model to you, who cares about, what he may have said or did? At the end of the day, that's who you choose to support. That's who you choose to, that's who you liked. Don't let nobody sway you from that, dude. Stand on your square. Don't allow nobody to sway you. But let's hear this out.
What do you mean? You remember, he was retired. He probably watched him in the 1980s and 90s. And so 25 years later, a bunch of things come up. He was recorded being a racist and so on. It sucks. Yep, it's bad. but it's the day that he died. And so Joey has the right to honor the great memories he had of watching him as a child. He has that right.
I mean, even though, you know, you have that thing on the phone or whatever, I guess the racist thing he said, I get it, but that doesn't change the fact that I used to watch wrestling. You know, I was a huge wrestling fan back in the day growing up as a kid. You can't deny that Hogan was a part of that. You know, when he went from the yellow and red and switched over to the NWO, like that was a hell of a time to be alive and see wrestling, you know, and then watch him go from WCW to the WWF at the time. Like that was great to see, you know, seeing him come out there to Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child, strumming the guitar. Like it was great to see, regardless of what may have happened later on. It's not no hidden fact that people may either A, be racist, or B, may do racist things. It is what it is. Like, are you gonna let that hinder the fact that when you were watching TV at a time as a kid, those moments that you had as a kid like were part of him being alive and other people as well? Like, it is what it is, man. Just stand on your square. That's what you need to do at the end of the day, Joey Swole. Stand on your square and screw what people are saying.
I have the right to critique him, and Joey Swole should just turned a blind eye and looked away. But instead, because he's Joey Swole, he listened to all of you. He then apologizes. He didn't owe us apologies. He says, you know, I owed everyone an apology. He didn't owe me an apology, but he wanted to do what was right, and so he apologized to the world. Now, I think that in 2025, everyone is so soft that people think that you need to apologize for every single thing that you've done. I don't care who that man is. You can say what you want. Last I checked, I've never been to a funeral where a person got up on the speech and said, this was an asshole, I hate him.
Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that.
You get to post.
That's weak, bro. Like, who cares? All you posted was a workout video of you in Hulk Hogan's in a Hulk Hogan outfit. Could have been a Halloween or something. You were lifting weights. How is that? How do you? If it offends people, who cares, Joey? Grow some balls, bro. Who cares? That is not, like, why are you on here? Like, why are you apologizing? I'm more mad at you for apologizing than anything. It's like, what the hell, bro? Why are you apologizing? Like, let your nuts hang. Let them drag across the floor. And if they don't like it, put in capital letters in the comment section, kiss my ass. I mean, don't apologize. You ain't do nothing wrong.
Whatever the fuck that you want on Instagram. He posts an old photo of him dressed as Hulk Hogan, and that triggered people so bad that they had to cancel him? You really think you did the right thing? Oh, you're so cool. The big bad wolf. You all canceled Joey Swole.
Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive.
And so, of course, he became defensive. What do people do when they're being attacked by thousands of people saying horrible things about you? You say, you know, I have the right to post this video about Hulk Hogan. I liked Hulk Hogan. Oh, but he was a racist. He said this, he said that. Well, I don't know. I think he said something once. I'm not really aware of it. But I liked him. But you're not allowed to like him because we don't. And we outnumber you. So in 2025, you're only allowed to do what the majority think. And so heavens forbid you're in the minority anything.
Also during last night's live.
That is an extreme valid point. Because we don't like him, you can't like him. Because he said this, we feel a certain way, so you got to feel that way too. Man, the hell with that. Like, I don't agree with that whatsoever. Like, no. Hell no. Like, I could care less. I mean, and I get it. People like, he said racist stuff. It's like, bro, that's honestly, since I've been alive, that's been a thing. We've had presidents that were racist. Who cares at this point in life? Like, why does that hinder what you do or like? It shouldn't even bother. Like, personally, I have never like physically like met the man in real life. I just like what he did as wrestling. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, how can I explain this? The best way to explain it would be, Django. There you go. Django. That's a prime example. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio played a racist role in Django. But at the end of the day, I like this character because he played a hell of a character in the movie. is he racist in real life? We don't know. He could be. I don't know. But in that movie, I liked him because he did a great job playing that role. He was racist. Who cares? But do you know who I hated in that movie, Django? I hated Samuel L. Jackson more than Leonardo DiCaprio. Number one, I never seen him in that kind of role before. Number two, I thought he was way more racist than Leonardo, which just made no sense, and it was just like backwards. It was like a mind screw over in the movie. So like make it, you know what I mean? So like yeah, you get what I'm trying to say.
Live stream. I use the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term.
It's 2025, Joey. We don't say colored people, we say people of color. And so imagine when people say, Coach Greg, you midget, you manlet, hobbit, making up for my smallness in the downstairs, all kinds of bullshit. Do they not know that in 2025, I'm vertically challenged? I don't demand an apology when you call me a hobbit, a midget, a manlet. I don't care. And so as soon as you start caring and giving a shit about what other people think, that's going to be your downfall. And so Joey Swole's kryptonite, everyone has a kryptonite. He's like Clark Kent. He cares about the opinions of all you sheep.
That I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with, that made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers.
That's right. Celebrating Hulk Hogan.
It's like I don't feel like he is himself. I don't think Joey Swole is. I mean, I don't know the man personally. I just feel like every time he gets on the camera, it's a character he's putting on. Like, be positive. You know what I mean? I get it. Be positive, but be yourself at the same time. You ain't 100% positive. Nobody's 100% positive. Nobody is. So just be yourself at the end of the day, man. I mean, I get it. People not gonna like some of your opinions or your decisions. The hell with it. You know, I mean, I guess here in the world we live in today, it's gonna affect your bottom line. It's gonna hurt your pocketbook. But just be you. Be you.
Okay, not Terry. Hulk Hogan. I don't know Terry's personal life. Most of you don't even know mine. If I were to die tomorrow, you could say, Coach Greg did this, Coach Greg did that. But did you know Greg Doucette? Of course you didn't.
I have done a lot of research, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible, horrible things that man has done. And I apologize to anybody.
Rent a car from our newest fleet.
Bro, there's no reason to apologize. It is what it is, man. I mean, like, you went out and did research and apologizing to people's feelings you hurt because they don't like him. You can't like him. That doesn't make any sense. That's like making a video about Donald Trump and apologizing to the people who don't like him. That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it makes zero sense why you're doing this. Like, I'm more mad at you for apologizing. Like, let your nuts hang, bro. You're a man. Let him drag across the floor. It is what it is. You don't like that I like Hulk Hogan. He's racist. Well, I mean, that's you. I mean, that's how you feel. It is what it is. But no, he said it. It's like, but I still like him. You know what I mean? Like, even I heard the thing that he said about, I guess, the boyfriend or whatever with his daughter, whatever it was. Like, at the end of the day, I still enjoy watching Hulk Hogan whenever he wrestled. I still enjoy watching him even after the fact. I didn't care. It didn't bother me none. I mean, he has the right to think that way. To be honest with you, you know, he has the free will to feel that way. That's what he wanted for his daughter. That's what he wanted for his daughter. It is what it is. Get over it.
That I offended.
And so Joey decides to apologize. He didn't need to apologize, but he did it anyway because he cares about what you think. I wouldn't have apologized, but yet he did. But did you guys let it go? Nope. It's not good enough. Continuing to harass him. I don't have time to show all the videos harassing him and putting him down. Joey Swole has been trying to help people and he does one wrong thing. And the wrong thing is supporting Hulk Hogan and saying people of color. And by accident, and then he says, I stand corrected, I made a mistake. People of color. No, what was it? People who have color. See, I don't even know. And last I checked, I'm not racist. I remember my grandmother telling me this before she died. She died at 94. This is several years ago. She said, you know, I'm not racist. I just don't think that black people should marry white people. But I'm not racist. I looked at my grandma and said, I think that means you're racist. But she was born in a different time, like 1908 or something. And so, guys, if you're like 20 years old criticizing Joey Swole, you're not born in the same time. And so it doesn't mean the same thing. When I was a kid, everyone would call each other gay. We didn't even know that that meant that you liked the same sex person. Did not have a clue. When I was a kid, we were sheltered. There was no such thing as internet. I didn't know that gay meant you liked men. Didn't know it. Just thought gay meant you sucked at something. This is what we thought. And so to this day,
nah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. We knew what gay meant, and we used it interchangeably. I mean, you sucked at something, and we knew that you still like the same gender, but we still used it as a term to talk down on you. So I think Greg's sugarcoating this one. No, you can't get away. That's not true, Greg. We knew what it meant, and we knew why we used it. Was the one talk down on you, and number two was to say you sucked at something. So yeah, you're telling a half truth.
my older friends that say, you're gay. That's gay. They don't even mean it in a sexual connotation. They don't mean that you're straight, gay, lesbian, whatever. And so if I were Joey Swole, I'd have just said, hey, you don't like Hulk Hogan. I liked Hulk Hogan. I'm celebrating the wrestler Hulk Hogan. I don't know anything about his personal life, and I'm leaving my video up. I thought Hulk Hogan was cool. And so if you had your favorite song of all time, babe, what's your favorite song of all time? Like a Virgin from Madonna. Your favorite song of all time is Like a Virgin, and you find out that Madonna, well, that she was a bad person, she was a racist, right? Do you now have to hate that song? It sucks, but it doesn't mean that you should be canceled for liking that person. And so
exactly. Now you have to hate that song. It's like, no. It's like for example, like you can take R. Kelly, for example. You know, R. Kelly went to jail for whatever the situation he went to jail for. You can't make me hate those songs that he put out now because of for the reason that he went to jail. You know what I mean? Like the stuff he went to jail for, I forget. I forget what the charges were, but I'm not gonna go back and be like, no, that song sucks now. It's like, no, he still put out some good music. I cannot deny that. It's like Hulk Hogan, he's a racist, yeah, but that match he had with The Rock, that was a good match. You know what I mean? Like you can't change that fact that, you know, you got to give respect, or you got to give credit where credit is due. Regardless if you hate the person or not, you can't change that. It's like, man, that dude racist as hell, but him and Rock put on a good show in that one match, man. Or when he turned heel on the fans and became Hollywood Hulk Hogan, that was an iconic moment when he finally did it. When the Outsiders and the NWO became a thing, like you cannot change the fact that that was a hell of a turning point in wrestling. So it's stupid when you think about it, and Joey is stupid for bending the knee. That was a weak move by you, Joey. You should have stood on your square.
if you like Donald Trump or you hate him, I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I will still be your friend whether you support Donald Trump or you don't. It doesn't affect me. Whether you like liberal or conservative, is there another party? I don't know any of them. I don't know politics. If you're red-pilled or blue-pilled or black-pilled, or if your skin is black or white or blue or brown or tanned as sexy as my color, I'll like you all the same, although my color is the best. Yes. Sorry. Period. Am I canceled now for saying my skin color is better than yours? Sorry. You like my skin color? Are we just, everyone's canceled who like Coach Greg, you know, the millions of people that watch my videos. Any of them that like my videos because I said that I like my skin color a lot, I'm canceled.
I am human. I am still growing. I am still learning. And I promise all of you, I will do better.
And so myself and Jeff Nipper, we made videos, natty notes on certain people. And many of you disagreed, lost all credibility, you're covering for each other, you're paying each other off. I've seen all the comments, I've read thousands.
Hello, Austin.
Man, now I want to go find Joey Swole page and write in capital letters, bro, why did you apologize? Like, what you apologize for, bro? Like, why? Why did you bend the knee? That doesn't make any sense. Why bend the knee? There makes no sense for you to sit here and bend the knee. It's whack. We're going to watch about one more minute of this and we're going to move on because I'm mad at Joey Swole for apologizing, bro.
Should I then make an apology video? Imagine if I was a pathetic little simp that gave a shit about what you think. And so keep the comments coming. I'm not changing my opinion. I don't care how much you accuse me. I'm going to say and give my honest, wholehearted opinion, whether you like it or not. I ain't apologizing for shit. I don't care if every single one of you unsubscribes from my channel. Oh, and while I'm at it, I will unapologetically continue to insist that you give Turk Platinum a try.
All right. And that's where we're going to end it on that note right there. Oh my goodness. Hey, round of applause to him, though. Yeah, shout out to Coach Greg Doucette for that video. And man, hopefully, Joey, quit apologizing, man. You didn't do nothing wrong, but now you did something wrong because you believed that they were right and you were wrong, which is just the dumbest thing ever. Like, I don't know how to say this. Like, it's cool to be positive, but like at the same time, don't be a fool. You know what I mean? Like, the video that you put up with Hulk Hogan, that was a positive video. You let these people convince you that your positivity in that video was wrong. You let people convince you of that, and I think that's stupid. So, for future references, bro, don't let that happen no more. But shout out to you, Joey Swole, for being the fitness influencer, positive role model that you are, and keep doing what you're doing, man. It is what it is. So, shout out to you. Round of applause to you. There you go. All right, so yeah, so that's gonna be it for the fitness portion of the show. Yeah, man, I'm mad at Joey Swole right now, man. I have to go. I'm gonna have to DM him, or not DM him, but probably go in the comment section and just ask him like, what are you apologizing for, bro? Let your balls hang. I'm gonna have to tell him because this is ridiculous. Anyway, let me get off of that because I can go on there forever. We're going to slide out of the fitness portion of the show. That's going to be it for that segment of the show. We're going to go into the economy portion of the show. We're going to see what's going on in the world of the economy. So let's go ahead and get our sexy lady to walk across the screen.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
That skin was skinning. Yes, it was. I think whoever she is, me and her would make some good babies. I tell you that much. That because our skin complexion is looking pretty nice. You know what I mean? Good hair, good skin. Boy, it will be fantastico. That's right. Give me a thumbs up on that one for sure. All right, so we're gonna dive in. We're gonna watch a video about this. We're gonna watch two videos. Okay, one we're gonna watch part of. The other one we might watch the whole thing, or we might just do half and half each one. First video, we're going to look at silver. So if you know anything about in precious metals, we're going to look at silver. This was about a week ago, so I'm a little behind, but it's okay. We'll live. Silver hit an all-time high. I think it was like last week. I think it got up to like 40, 42. I don't know. It got up to 40-something, I believe. I think it was 39 or 40. But anyway, hit an all-time high. So we're going to have a clear value text talk about exactly silver hitting a all-time high. Then it came with the pullback like everything always does, regardless of what investment that you choose. But it's to my personal opinion, when we're talking about the economy, it's very important to note that when precious metals hit a all-time high of some sort, because it tells you something. It's a telltale sign of what's going on and how the economy is moving, which most people don't pay attention to for some odd reason. But I think this is a very good thing to look at. So we're going to take a look at a little bit of this video. But before we do, I got to go ahead and hit the refresh button before they hit me with a ad right in the middle of the video. But whenever you see commodities go up or going up or having a bull run, whenever commodities are going up like oil, precious metals, and things of that nature, you should always understand that usually is going to mean that the actual market, the other side of the market is going to be, or the US dollar is going to be doing bad, which means that we're going to be going through a hard time. Usually, if precious metals or commodities are going up, usually that means that we're probably not in a good time in life as far as like the dollar is losing value at a crazy rate, and we're probably going to be in like a recession or depression. Usually is kind of how that goes. For some reason it correlates like that in a weird way. If precious metals are doing good, then that means that the market is doing bad as far as the dollar goes, or the dollar is doing bad. It's losing a lot of buying power. But we're going to look in here and look at the silver price and see what's going on here. So let me pull this guy up on the screen. We're going to go ahead and get a little crash course in this. Let me change that banner real quick so we don't be stuck on the fitness. There's the economy. And we're going to let clear value text explain this to us. So go ahead and take it away. Here we go.
Price manipulation is breaking down. And of course, this is great news for silver investors. So if you haven't seen, the price of silver has been soaring. It's now breached $39 a troy ounce. So
So it says since 2011. So if you remember anything, the '08 housing market crash happened in '08, I believe. '08. So then the banks bailed them out at some point. But to kind of give you an idea of when things were going bad, silver had a high price back then around that time. So we're doing bad again. So just kind of correlate the two.
This is the highest that it's been in the past 14 years. And in my opinion, the rally is not over. And I am nowhere near ready to sell my silver. Okay, so my last video I made about silver on June 2nd, we spoke about the price manipulation of silver. Okay, so the big banks have been trying to keep the price of silver low, but now this is beginning to backfire, as I said in my last video, and this may lead to something epic, a short squeeze. Okay, so here's what happened. In a last-ditch effort to suppress the price of silver, the big banks made a very big bet against silver in the middle of July. So they shorted 483 million ounces of silver in just one day. And that is insane because only 800 million ounces of silver are mined in an entire year. And they go off shorting 483 million ounces in one day. That's crazy. And if they bet against silver when it was at $37 a troy ounce, and right now it's above $39 a troy ounce, that means that they have lost more than $1 billion on this one bet. But of course, these big banks, they have, without a doubt, they have a lot of money. So $1 billion, yeah, that's a big loss, but, they can handle it. However, these big banks, they still don't have an unlimited amount of money. These are banks. They're not central banks, right? But listen, I want to tell you this just to put things into perspective.
Before he does, just remember this. The price of silver, let's see, what is this? Price of silver 3 years ago, I would say 2-3 years ago was like $15. Price of silver about 3-4 years ago was like $15. And now in just that short amount of time, it's all the way up to like 35, between 35 and 40. So it's doubled or over doubled since that short amount of time, which should be a telltale sign for you to understand where we're headed. And in his personal belief, he said he doesn't believe that the bull run, the silver rally, is stopping anytime soon. And he's talking about getting into silver now, or he probably got into silver a long time ago. Who knows? But just to know that it was at $15 3-4 years ago, and where we're at now, and how fast it's moving, that should be something that you should look into. Just my opinion.
So let's just say that silver goes up by another $10 a troy ounce, which is totally possible. If that were to happen, then they would lose about $5 billion on this one bad trade. And just to put things into perspective, JP Morgan Chase made a total profit of approximately $50 billion last year. So that was their net income for 2024. So you think that these bankers, they're gonna risk losing 10%, 20%, 30% of the company's entire year's profit on one bad trade? I would say good luck explaining that to your shareholders. And silver can shoot up by $10, $20, even $30 a troy ounce. And here's another thing that I want to point out to you. So one way to bring down the price of silver is to short silver on the stock market through SLV. But the situation has gotten so bad that you can no longer short SLV on the stock market. So currently there are 0 shares to borrow against. So if you think about that, it makes it more difficult to bring down the price of silver through manipulation.
Wow, that's interesting. You can't short silver right now? Like, you can't, even if you wanted to? I've never heard of that before. That's interesting. You can't short it. So it has to go up?
On the stock market. So currently there are 0 shares to borrow against. So if you think about that, it makes it more difficult to bring down the price of silver through manipulation. And it's not just SLV. So PSLV, the shorting has spiked as well. And it's become, you can take a look for yourself. It's become a crowded trade. And here's another thing. I want to show you this. So the cost to borrow silver, so the silver lease rate has spiked to over 6%. So just take a look at the lease rates for the past few years. It was close to nothing. Okay, so what is going on?
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet.
Jesus, they do not want me to stop that video. They were like, no, you're going to see this side project for life. So that's interesting though. Silver, you can't short silver. So it's only able to head in one direction. So that's something to think about, man. Y'all should be paying attention to that for sure. Like, and it's only, like I said, like 3 or 4 years ago, I said it was $15, between 15 and 20, and now it's at between 35 and 40. I mean, it's still, grabbable. It's still, something you should be able to, invest in at some point. And look, if you can't invest into silver, or if you do, or if you think it's too heavy or something, then go to gold. Although gold is like at 3,500 an ounce right now. But you just got to understand the different ways to invest in each one and how they work.
What's happening is that the silver that's held in the vaults in London and New York, they're being drained. So more people are standing for delivery. So in other words, they want their physical silver. Okay, so who are these people that are requesting their physical silver from the vaults? Like, where's it ending up? It's the Chinese, like the Chinese government. It's the Russians. It's the Indians and multiple big-time investors. Okay, so do you see what's going on here? The banks were able to manipulate silver prices because they had deeper pockets than the small retail investors. But now the situation is that the banks are losing their ability to manipulate prices because people with even deeper pockets have stepped into the picture. Countries, governments, and they want their silver delivered, in physical form. And right now, even billionaires are just, individual investors. They're standing for delivery. So one billionaire, David Bateman, purchased over 12 million ounces of silver, which is about $500 million worth, and he requested delivery. So listen, what basically is $500 million?
What did he invested close to $1 billion in precious metals over the past 6 months, including the purchase of 1.5% of the annual global supply? 12 million ounces. Good Lord, the global monetary system is about to collapse. The Great Reset or Basel Endgame. Yeah, if he's buying close to $1 billion in precious metals, that is a telltale sign if you ain't ever seen one.
$1 worth, and he requested delivery. So listen, what basically is happening is that there is a bank run on silver. So the banks that have been suppressing the price of silver are now losing control of the situation. And it now looks like their bets are going to go really badly, which can, of course, result in a short squeeze, which is, that type of situation, the price would get driven up even higher, in a hurry. So in my opinion, we're just getting started, and I am nowhere close to being ready to sell my silver. And the situation has gotten so bad that normally when you request your silver to be shipped to you from the London vault, from the LBMA, it's supposed to be delivered out to you 1 business day after settlement. So it's T plus 1 business day. But right now they're saying that if you want your physical silver, there's a wait time of T plus 8 weeks. So they're blaming it on a shortage of manpower and a shortage of trucks. But I just want to say, to me, that sounds so fishy. That sounds so ridiculous. It sounds like, if I had to be honest, it sounds like there's more people that have claim to silver than there exists in the vaults. So basically, I'm not surprised, because if there's a free float of 160 million ounces of silver in the vaults, but there are up to 2 billion ounces being traded a day, that's a big problem when people are requesting their silver to be delivered. And if they don't have enough silver in the vaults to make good on their promises to deliver, then what are they going to do? They're probably going to come up with a lame excuse like, oh, we can't deliver your silver right now. You have to wait 8 weeks because we can't find enough workers or trucks to deliver them to you. And in the meantime, while you got all these shenanigans happening in the paper market for silver, in the real world, industrial demand for silver remains the same.
And that's one thing. If you choose to invest in precious metals, my personal opinion, don't go the stock route. Don't invest in a piece of paper like a stock or anything. Like, don't invest in the stock ticker. Go get actual physical silver or the precious metal to hold in your hand, and if you get it or whatever you get it, do yourself a valuable favor and shut the hell up. Don't talk about it. Just be quiet. So invest in actual tangible. Treat precious metal like real estate, like it's tangible, like you can see it, you can touch it. Treat it like that. Don't go the stock route. That's just my humble opinion.
There is more demand for silver in industry than the miners and the recyclers can keep up with. So essentially, there's more demand than there is supply. Now, I want to show you the price of silver for the past 30 years. Okay, so right now, we're right here, around $39 a troy ounce, okay? And some people are saying that back in 2011, so right there where I circled, silver reached about $50 a troy ounce. So some people are saying that if we hit $50 a troy ounce, then the price is going to have a very difficult time going above that. So basically, we're going to meet resistance there. But the thing is that you have to remember that it hit $50 in 2011. So if you account for inflation, that $50 back then in today's dollars is going to be much higher. And I just want to say that there is that scenario where silver does go to $50 a troy ounce and it doesn't meet resistance there. Rather, it just smashes through 50 and goes much higher. But I do want to say that if you're a long-term investor, a holder of silver, then this is all just short-term noise. Because we all know that silver and precious metals, they're just going to go up naturally because the US government and the Federal Reserve, they're just going to continue to print so much money. They're going to print trillions of dollars. So that should be your mentality as a long-term holder of silver. Like, this is just short-term noise. But like me personally, I am a long-term holder of silver, but I also am interested in the shorter term because I do have call options on silver in the stock market for 2026. Of course, that's in addition to my physical silver.
Yeah, so he has that in addition to his physical silver. So he has the paper and he has the actual physical tangible that you can hold in your hand. So keep that in mind. If you don't know how to get any silver or precious metals like that, look into it. It's not hard to get. It's not hard to find. You can find them on websites. So you probably have local coin shops in your city or state or city, whatever you want to call it, and go and get some there. Educate yourself. It's not hard to educate yourself on precious metals and how to understand how they work. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. Understand that precious metals have been around forever. Precious metals is God's money. Shekels is what they called it in the Bible. So you might as well trade in your fiat money and go get real money and, protect yourself. And that's the smartest way that you could go about it. You know what I mean? So shout out to Clear Value Tech. Shout out to that video. Give him a round of applause. All right, so with that being said, we're going to slide on over and move on over to the next video that we do have. We're going to look at these Chevron. Chevron's laying off workers like crazy, which has been going on all over the place. Every time I make a video now for the economy portion of the show, it's just like layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff. We saw UPS layoff. We saw IBM layoffs. We saw who else was laying off? I mean, the tech industry, which you can put that IBM a part of it. Just massive layoffs have been going on and it hasn't been stopping whatsoever. And it's getting to the point now where you can't ignore it. It's just like people have been complaining, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, coming out of college, not getting a job. It's something that you can't ignore. You have to really, really, really pay attention to. And the fact that AI is part of this equation, you can't ignore that either, because these jobs are getting taken and all the entry-level positions and potentially junior-level positions are being taken by AI, and you ain't beating AI. AI works 24/7, 365. You ain't got to worry about no kind of lawsuits or any kind of sexual harassment coming from them. No vacation, no laid off, no paid leave, none of that stuff. So these jobs ain't coming back. And a lot of these people, when you look at it, you have to understand something, that if AI is taking away jobs, then people are not understanding or having any kind of purpose to go with in their life. What is it that you do when purpose is taken out of your life to do work or contribute yourself in any shape, form to society whatsoever? You have to create it within yourself or for yourself. And a lot of people were not trained to do so or taught to do so. And a lot of people just don't have that hustle in them. You know what I mean? It's just like it's a hustle. You either have it in you or you don't. I mean, maybe it could become about you if you find out that it's in you, but a lot of people were trained to be jobbers. They weren't trained to be, entrepreneurs or investors or be creative. You know what I mean? And it's hard, it's tough, because you think, well, you've been doing good for so long that things can't go bad. Well, when in an entrepreneur, not a lifestyle, things can and they will go bad. It's part of the roller coaster. There's ups and downs. It's not always going to be 100% good all the time. And even sometimes in your journey, you may have to pivot while you're an entrepreneur and have to understand how to navigate through the ups and downs and pitfalls of living this way. And a lot of people are not used to that. They're used to being in a job, being stable and doing the same monotonous thing every single day and it never changing. But things are changing now, and people don't know how to groove with it. And this change is so extreme because you can't just pivot this time around to a different job, sort of say. You kind of have to figure out your own way, and understanding network and community and things of that nature, which just been completely decimated over this past, 5 to 10 years. So this time around, it's hard for people to grasp a hold on what to do. So we're going to look at this video here by Market Gains, and we're going to see exactly what's going on and how people are, coping or surviving or thriving or living with the current demographics of what's going on in today's world. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop on over to the show. And it says Chevron has fired a bunch of workers, but we're going to dive in deeper and see exactly what's going on. So let's take a look. Here we go.
I was fired from my job of 6 years today in the most ridiculous way.
Can you talk about why we always try to look so good for interviews when we know that when we actually get the job, we'll come into work looking a little bit more sloppy?
Corporate life is not for me. Learning that the hard way.
What in the world is happening with the job market? I mean, even Chevron, like the oil giant, is already firing almost 600 people at their skyscraper in downtown Houston. So these layoffs are truly getting out of control, and this isn't the first time where the oil giant conducted massive layoffs, but also 20% of their global workforce is basically gone. Now, Chevron employs roughly about like 50,000 people. That's a decent amount of people for an energy company. And now they basically just said, yeah, screw that. We don't need that many employees. So basically Chevron, just in the past like few years, they've been doing a lot of layoffs, but this year in 2025, they laid off a good 10,000 employees. And that number is still rising. At this point, even the Department of Energy is already doing thousands of job cuts over the funding rollbacks for the federal sector. So more than a third of the cuts could come at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Colorado. So right now, the job market is very, very difficult. Some of the high-end jobs, some of the jobs that pay the best, like Chevron, right? The federal sector at the Department of Energy. These are all very high-paying jobs, very good jobs. Jobs where people want because the benefits are really good and retirement plans are really good. But at the end of the day, we are seeing the global economy slowing down. As the global economy slows down, you start seeing shipping companies like FedEx and UPS announce really bad earnings and revenue, which they recently have. You do know that UPS and FedEx have fired tens of thousands of people just in the past 24 months.
You remember we did a video about UPS where they actually were trying to buy out their people. They were trying to send them a buyout. I think it was like $3,000 for each year they've been there. Yeah, they were trying to buy them out. A lot of people was like, no, we don't want to leave. I'm like, well, if you don't leave, they're just going to, the inevitable is going to happen. You're not going to keep your job. They're trying to get you out of there nicely without having to do you dirty. But, people have bills and lives and families to take care of. So we already covered that one.
And part of the reason why is less shipping. Less shipping, cheaper oil prices. And obviously when oil goes down, Chevron's just going to have to fire a bunch of people. And
remember what I just said to you earlier. Right now, commodities are going up. So this makes sense because now Chevron's having to pay more for the oil. They're not going to be able to take care of so many employees. So commodity businesses are going to take a hit as far as employees go, and tech companies are going to take a hit because of AI. So a lot's going to, change as far as, and that should tell you something too. Commodities are always going to be the cornerstone of markets, because when commodities go up, less people are going to be able to have jobs because they're going to have to pay more for these commodities to keep their business afloat. But when commodities go down, that's when things are like a little luxy-daisy. But this time around, we're having a huge shock to the job market because the AI that's being implemented as well is going to change people coming back to the marketplace, because they're not replacing jobs, they're erasing jobs.
These aren't going to be the end of the layoffs. We're going to be seeing even more layoffs in the energy sector. There's also massive funding cuts in the renewable energy like solar panels and batteries. So we're also seeing a lot of layoffs in that department as well. So get ready, guys. Layoffs are getting bigger than ever before.
Navan is the business travel platform where employees...
Oh my goodness, your boy still ain't got the YouTube Premium. I swear I'm gonna have to slap myself for not getting YouTube Premium. I don't know why this is a thing, but with that being said, we're back to it. So let's check out what's going on with these people. I don't want to hear him talk too much more. Okay, good. He's gonna get right into it. So here we go.
Check out some of these videos.
There is no such thing as a good job anymore, and I think that we need to collectively just understand that. The days of just applying or walking with an application or calling or knowing a friend and getting a job, those days are completely over. And what's even worse is that, like, you can't even go get a job at anything under like $25 an hour and live a life by yourself, live a life independently. And I wish our parents understood that. They genuinely think that we can just go out, get a job, and just make it happen. I don't understand what we gotta do. What chart do we need to show them? What news segment, what graph, what table we need to do? What do we need to do to show them that it just doesn't work?
You shouldn't be trying to convince your parents of what they need to understand. That's not your job to do. So, I mean, why were you trying to convince your parents as to like what you need to do? Like, you need to show your parents that, look, I'm making the right decision, whether you like it or not. Unfortunately, you're not going to see it from my lens because you might not understand how things are in my generation. Because there's a whole, you know, like parents nowadays, the boomers, they're not gonna, the baby boomers, they're not gonna understand. I mean, there's the internet world that's going on that they don't see. There's a whole harlot escort world that's going on that they don't see. There's a whole AI revolution going on that they don't see. There's a whole lot of going on that they don't see, and they're not gonna understand it the way that you do because you're in it. You know what I mean? Like you're in the thick of it, and you shouldn't be trying to prove anything to anybody. You should be creating your way and, you know, creating your path to thrive and be excellent. So no, don't prove nothing to nobody. Prove with your actions, not with your words.
Work no more.
I graduated from NYU with a degree in math and computer science, and I cannot find a job. And I just want to come on here and ask for any advice. If you do have a degree in math or computer science or both like myself, what are you doing now? And how did you get into it? A little bit of background about myself. Both my parents are doctors, so I have no way to rely on my parents to get me a job like most people in this industry. So I don't know, like I've tried networking with people. I've tried networking with my friends. My friends are very like snake-like, like they don't want to give me a referral. They don't want to help me out in any way, shape, or form. I don't know, that's just what the engineering crew is like. But I feel like it's just so difficult to get a job. I do leak code every single day. I apply to 50 jobs a week. I have a tracker, and I've been trying like my very, very bestest. And like I'm applying to master's school right now, but I just feel like I don't know if a master's is even like worth it. If I'll be honest, I've tried to apply to jobs with like pretending I have a master's, pretending I have all these certifications, and even then I don't get any interviews. So,
and looking at her situation and what she's speaking on, think about this. Like I guess she lives with her parents. She has she has a math degree and a computer science degree as well, right? But then also she lives with her parents. Okay, now think about what she's going through. Okay, now add another element to the situation. Relationships. Add a relationship to that situation. Like, she's not gonna be in a relationship for anything but survival. So like the mind frame that everybody is in is survival. You know what I mean? Like this buddy right here, he was speaking on survival. She's speaking on survival. Everything that we're seeing here is operating a majority of people, a mass majority of people in the mindset of survival, and it's keeping everybody at a low frequency, and it's gonna be hard to climb out of that. So how will people be able to interact with each other in survival mode? Because it's gonna be a dog eat dog world out there. You know, nobody's gonna be trying to help you for just out of the goodness of their heart. They're gonna try to help you expecting a benefit on the other end.
I've been trying like my very, very bestest, and like I'm applying to master's school right now, but I just feel like I don't know if a master's is even like worth it. If like I'll be honest, I've tried to apply to jobs with like pretending I have a master's, pretending I have all these certifications, and even then, I don't get any interviews.
She's even lying and trying to see if she can get a job with a master's, and she don't got one yet. She's lying, and she's still like, I don't even see the point of getting a master's even if I act like I have one. It doesn't even make a difference. So what's the point of getting one, even if, you know what I mean? So this is just showing you like the mindset that we're headed into. It's gonna be brutal out there. It's gonna be tough, and there's no other way around it. Except that you have to come with your own plan. You got to come with your own mindset. You got to think outside the box. You have to be a hustler. That's what this is going to require to you, to be a hustler, to think outside the box, be creative, and not succumb yourself to, you know, a job mentality, because that's not what's going to help you. A job mentality won't help you. Maybe be able to get you by, or maybe, you know, to get you to the next level, but you got to have a plan, a mindset of your own in order to, you know, thrive. And that's what people want to do. They want to thrive, because just surviving just to get by, that's not where you want to be, because of how bad the situation is and is going to be. You're going to want to be able to, you know, ride this out to a point that when things do get on the up and up, which may take like 10 years, but when it does, if you survive through these 10 years, when things go up, you are going to be way up. I mean, I think the life that's a life that's gonna be for you on the other side is gonna be tremendous. Like a guy said, if you can start a business and be successful or maintain a business in a down economy, in a bear market, when things go up, you are going to thrive, because you've already went through the hell and the hardest time that there ever was to go through. You've already been through the hard part. So when all the markets start going up, you finna be like, like you finna thrive like one's never seen.
So, I mean, with my current background, with just a bachelor's degree, it's like I graduate next semester, so I'm desperately looking for advice. And if you are in the New York area, can I take you out for a cup of coffee or something? Like, I am also looking to network and get advice. I don't want a referral. If you can provide one after you meet me, sure, why not? But I genuinely just want some advice, because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel like I'm trying my bestest. I'm studying so hard. I retained all the information I did in school. I have projects. I did briefly drop out of school, like took a leave of absence and started a multi-million-dollar business. And now I'm back, and I do want to continue pursuing engineering, and I really don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. Tell me, guys.
Capital One.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going on. What's going on is that we're in a bear market. Everything's going down. We're in a bear market, and AI is taking over. That's what people are feeling. People are feeling the effects of AI taking over. They just don't realize it yet. We're in a bear market with AI on the back end. That's what it is. You know what I mean? And we're 100 years from we're 100 years from the Great Depression. What was it? 1929? This is when the Great Depression somewhat started. So we're like 100 years due for a Great Depression, and we're going into it. And you have a bunch of people in their 20s who don't understand it. And yeah, that's just where we're at. And a lot of parents who probably didn't prepare their kids for said situation. And it's not, you know what I mean? There's nothing against anybody for not, but that's just where we're headed. We're headed in a down market. We're going deeper into the abyss of a down market, and people just have to learn, or not learn, have to figure out what it is going to get them by. And the only thing that will probably get you by in this economy is going to be entrepreneurship. That's it. Nothing else. It's the only thing that's going to get you by, in my humble opinion. That, or, you know, 10 years experience in a particular field.
I was laid off last month, and it's officially been a little over a month now since I've been laid off. And one of the very first things that I did was make my little sappy LinkedIn post just saying, hi, I'm laid off, I'm unemployed, I'm looking for opportunity, and I want to use my network, and here's what I'm looking for, essentially. Today, I just signed an offer letter. I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity had I not posted, my LinkedIn post. I was kind of embarrassed when I first made the post, but I just felt like I had to do it. I have so many connections on LinkedIn. I need to utilize my network, and I think networking is so important. And I had multiple different conversations, but had I not made that post, I wouldn't have gotten this job offer. All this to be said, if you're laid off, you're unemployed, take a chance, make the post on LinkedIn. It doesn't matter if you look, or if you're embarrassed, where someone's growing a team, you just never know. It's getting into your network, and you never know what's going to come back around. It's so worth it.
I can't find any job, it feels like, that wants to pay me enough to live. Okay, update. I'm still unemployed. Woo! I love that. I actually hate it. I've applied to over 50 jobs, which I'm not unique. I've seen so many videos recently of people in the exact same position as I am, and they've even applied to like a million more jobs than I have. So
Yeah, I've seen some where people said they applied to like 100 and 200 jobs. That's crazy.
having applied to 50 jobs and over 50 jobs and still not having a job, like, so not unique. But that's the situation. Still can't find a job. Even though I'm applying out the wazoo, I'm using all my resources, like calling on previous employers, but whatever. I'm at a job fair today. I brought 3 copies of my resume. I'm not going to show you guys my resume or any of that, but resume and transcripts from both undergrad and grad school. So wish me luck.
Job search.
Man, so I know a dude who told me he had to went to a job fair or whatnot, and he said the job fair at the end of the day was basically not entry-level positions. They went to a job fair and basically he found out that they were hiring, but they weren't hiring for entry-level positions. It was like positions you had to have like 5 or 10 years experience for. That was the job fair. I was like, whew, boy.
Update! I have received so many rejections email to the point where I know when I'm getting rejected. For example, if I applied or interviewed for a company, let's say Monday of this week, and I haven't heard anything back from them Friday of that week, chances that I'm getting rejected is probably the Sunday of that week or the Friday of next week. Today's a Friday. I already got like 4 different rejections-ish. That's kind of low, I know, compared to you guys, but still. I have a vision that this Sunday I'm going to get more rejections. Which is totally okay because rejection is redirection. Have a great weekend.
So there's something very serious I do need to talk about with everyone. I know we like to joke around, but this is something that has been really hurting me recently, and I have felt deeply saddened by it. And there's a word that people have just been throwing around, and it is not something to take lightly or to just say, but I'll tell you guys, it is the word. I don't want to hear it anymore. It really hurts my feelings. Unemployment 2025 is the way that I'm going. I don't want to hear this job word anymore. It honestly just makes me really upset and really sad. So I don't want to have to talk about this again or, you know, share this again. I just don't want to see this word anymore. We are all unemployed 2025.
So I went through the interview process for a job for 2 months, and I literally just found out I didn't get the job.
2-month-long interview process. That is crazy work. A 2-month-long interview process. That's crazy work. That is wild beyond all belief. And then the last girl said that she's going with the unemployed for 2025. Like, you better make something shake. But one thing that you need to pay attention to as you watch these videos, like look at everybody's mindset collectively. Everybody's mindset collectively, they're being like sarcastic, but at the same time, you can tell that they're defeated. And that's the mindset that, you know, the overall situation wants you to be in. And wants you to, if you have a group of people, like a collective amount of people with a defeated mindset, just being defeated, you know what I mean? Like, they just can't, like, everything in their vocabulary is like, I can't, try, lose, lost, like, not working, didn't happen. Like, that constant defeated mindset, bruh, that's I'm gonna show you a video of what happens when people have a collective mindset in a positive way, and then you can just correlate that to a negative context. But I'm gonna show you that video here in a second. But let's finish this up.
I really wanted it to, for a couple different reasons. One, it was gonna really bring me back to something that I did in my childhood and my sister does. Kind of like a bring me back home kind of moment. Hold on. Okay, I just had to pull myself together. They said they just went a different direction, and I totally get that, but like I said, I went through the interview process for 2 months, and I felt like I had some strong interviews. There was one person in the interview who I felt didn't feel very strongly about me, like she just didn't like she didn't like me very much, which is totally fine. That happens in interviews. But I just want to know, why is the job market so incredibly tough?
Your workflow is important to us. Please wait indefinitely.
Okay, I'm trying to find this video, but I don't think I can find it. I'm trying to find, I forget the name of it, but I'm going to find it here in a second. And boy, oh boy, does your boy need YouTube Premium. YouTube, go ahead and just slide your boy the YouTube Premium so we can have it. Here we go. Let's continue this video, though. I'm going to find that video as we're looking at this, so bear with me.
Like, I literally went through, I had 7 different interviews. I did an entire project. Actually, one of the things I suggested in my project, they already used it on social media. And so I'm like, why is the job market so incredibly tough right now? What's wrong with me? Like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to fix? Do I need to go back to school and pursue a different career? Like, I decided I didn't really want to do sports broadcasting anymore with the way athletics is changing. But I don't know, it's tough out here, and I'm like, everybody wants to be an influencer, and it's possible, but it's just also like, I want to work for something that has a ton of purpose. Not that influencers don't have purpose, but I want to work for a company that drives me every single day and gives me purpose every single day. And I'm not sure what that is, and I don't understand why the market is so incredibly tough. So if you're a recruiter or something, can you explain to me, like, what exactly are people looking for? How do I really make myself stand out, especially when you have a 7 interview process for 2 months and you do an entire project and don't get selected? And I'm not crapping on the company. I think they have to do what's best for.
Okay, 7 interview process for 2 months. That's crazy work. That's really depressing. Let me show you this video real quick that I was talking about, though. This ain't the exact video, but it's the same concept video that basically I was referring to. So watch this. So you're gonna see these group of people, these guys, right? So this dude weighs 300 pounds, right? Look at what they're gonna do. This is gonna show you the power of collective thinking, collective energy, collective mindset. Just think about this. This is a positive way of seeing it. Now imagine the same mindset, but on a negative scale. But just watch this. Here we go.
2, 1, go.
Oh my god.
2, 1, go.
Oh my god. Big ass nigga.
I am a big ass nigga.
Fine, man. LJ. I won't leave. Go 1, 2, 3, go. What the?
You see that? I know it seems, I mean, look how easily they lifted him, all right? This is a 300-pound dude. It's not easy to pick somebody up by their arms and legs like that.
2, 1, go.
Oh my god.
And if you saw this dude right here, if you see his finger placement, his hands were like this when he was trying to lift them up. He did his hands like this. He didn't have them like this. He had them like this. Look at his fingers. I'm going to go back. Just watch this guy right here. Watch his fingers. Look.
2, 1,
you can
go.
see his hands. Look.
Oh my god.
See where his fingers were placed? I think they're all doing the same thing. They put their hands over his head. He's not even paying attention. And then watch how easily they lift him up.
I won't leave. Go 1, 2, 3, go. What the?
And look, he's doing the finger thing again. His fingers are like this again. He's lifting them up like this. You see his two bottom fingers are underneath. Look how he's lifting them like this. Look at that. And you could tell he's in disbelief. Look at this. That's crazy. Just the power of people thinking collectively. That's the whole thing I want you to see. Now imagine a whole group of people thinking the opposite, thinking negatively. But let's continue these videos. Here we go.
Like, oh, everybody's hiring, like nobody wants to work, da 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 da. I have applied to literally hundreds of jobs over the last few weeks. I've been without work for 3 weeks now, and I have been non-stop applying to literally everywhere and have yet to find a single job in my area. Of course, there are places that are hiring. Don't want to work for pennies. People don't want to work to not be able to pay their bills.
No offense.
Yeah, I feel you on that, sweetie. That is 100% true, but you know, we are in a horrible market right now, and the problem is everybody was arguing about like there's economic cycles, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, right? But the problem is that leading up to this, to where we're at now, it takes preparation. It took preparation before you got here, and with all the divorce culture and fighting and bickering between two genders, and the job culture before where we're at now, where if you didn't like a job, you just quit and get another one. The culture that we were living in, where it was easy to get money, you know, flexing on Instagram, gurus talking about Airbnbs, how easy it is to do Airbnbs, which that market ain't doing good no more either. You know, people saying fix and flips these houses, and then you had, you know, you had a plethora of gurus and selling online courses and digital, all these digital products, all this stuff. It was easy money that was coming in, and then it was also easy money flowing out. But when the easy money flowing out, how many people were investing as opposed to flexing? That was what a lot of people were doing. They were flexing. They weren't really investing. They were just living their best life. This is going on forever. And it's the same concept when you look at the movie The Big Short. When you go watch The Big Short, you're going to see the same concept. Before, oh dude, was it Michael Burry, before he predicted the '08 housing market crash, they showed in the movie how everybody was living high off the hog. They were just living it up. Meanwhile, there was a group of people who you were following around in the movie who were seeing the underlying theme of what was about to happen, and they end up shorting the market as well when they found out how people were living their lives, how people were, you know, surviving, how people were getting approved for loans on homes. You know what I mean? Like, you work at McDonald's, but you can get approved for like a $1 million home. They would just stamp it and say, yeah, cool, you got it. You know, there was a scene in that movie where a dude went to a strip club strictly to talk to a stripper to ask her about her finances, and he was trying to, you know, figure out like how he was talking to her, and he asked her how many houses does she have. She had like 3 houses and a boat. And he was like, the hell? How do you get approved? How do you have 3 houses and a boat? Like, it was something like that. I might be wrong, but it was something to that nature. And he was just like, we're cooked. He was like, it's a wrap. He even spoke to the loan officers who took him to the strippers. He spoke to the loan guys, and he was like, does anybody like pay attention to you guys approving these people on these loans? They're like, no. As long as they get paid for these loans that they're approving, they're getting their money. You know what I mean? He was like, the best people, he was talking about the best people to use, you know what I mean? Because nobody had a background check on what it was that they were getting approved for. And I'm saying all that to say this. That was basically a calm before the storm. You saw the prerequisites that were happening that was going to cause the chaos in the future. And where we're at now, we're looking at, you know, people who were unprepared for a situation that's happening right now. You know what I mean? So we're seeing it happen all over again. People are unprepared for this situation. And when people were living high off the hog, they flexed instead of invested. And there's a hustle that has to be about you in order to thrive through a situation like this, which many people are not taught. But let's finish up this video. Let's continue. Let me get this pulled up for us, and let's continue this right here. So where we at? Here we go.
I can't find one.
From big tech over the past few months. That's a Google, Amazon, Meta, etc. You're probably feeling some type of way about this. I mean, layoffs suck for anyone, but I think in particular, if you're part of some of these giant megacorps, in FANG or whatever it's called now, Mama, I don't know, you probably have a piece of your personal identity and your ego tied to your job. We have put these companies on pedestals for way too long, and I really hope that in the wake of all these layoffs, that people start to reconsider.
I actually remember this girl talking. I remember when she said that, a piece of your identity into these jobs. Like, whew, sweetie, that's dangerous. That is super dangerous. Your ego and your identity tied into a job, that is super dangerous. You don't want that.
It's just a job, and no job or company should ever define you.
I feel like at this point I'm actually kind of an expert in being unemployed, so I'm going to be talking about my guide to getting through unemployment. I've been unemployed since May of 2024, which I kept saying was like 6 or 7 months ago. It's been 10 months. I just Googled it. I was like, how long ago was May 2024? They said 10 months. So I've been unemployed for 10 months. Here's my guide to losing your job. Not guide to how to lose your job, guide to get whatever. First and foremost, find something that gets you outside. Mine was workout classes. I think it's worth the cost personally. It gets me out of the house at least like once a day or once every other day or however often I end up going. So whatever that is, find something that actually gets you out of the house. Number 2, make plans with friends at least 2 to 3 times per week, especially if you live alone. You cannot experience life alone, because if you go from, even if you're working remote and you're like talking to people, you're still like communicating with people at your job. So if you get laid off and all of a sudden you're like literally so isolated, you gotta make plans with your friends, okay? Don't stay in bed longer than 5 minutes after you wake up. You gotta get out of bed, okay? I went through a phase where I was like staying in bed for probably like an hour and a half after I would wake up after I lost my job. It really didn't make me feel good, if you could imagine. The next one, along with that, wash your face, do your skincare, and go on a walk if you can. I've had a really hard time I'm trying to do that recently. But I'm always doing my skincare in the morning just to like feel refreshed, make myself feel like a person. I'm gonna make myself smaller here.
When you're the chief operating officer.
Come on, stop. Uh-oh, hold on. I don't have my thingy up. Where is it? Sorry. There it is. So she's basically saying like waking up, skincare, go for a walk. She says she can't do these. Basically, she's saying it's hard to do these things without a job, which you should be able to do these things without a job. But with a job, I guess it will be easier for her to do because she has a direction to go in, but people can't provide their own direction. It's basically what this is boiling down to. Because she was saying, find a reason to go outside. Find something that gets you outside. Just take your ass outside and go for a walk. It shouldn't be a reason. Walking should be the reason. You know, make plans with friends. Make plans with getting money is how I look at it. Don't stay in bed longer than 5 minutes after you wake up. A lot of people have a hard time getting out of bed on their own without a job making them get up and get out of bed. A lot of people, if they don't have a job to go to, they don't feel a need to get out of bed, which they don't have a need to be disciplined on their own and basically be an entrepreneur, have some kind of hustle about them, which then if you take that job away, they have no purpose. So it's a scary situation to be in because people are losing a purpose. The purpose was their job, and now they have to become a entrepreneur, that's not for everybody. It isn't. Like, being an entrepreneur ain't for everybody. It's not something that everybody wants to do, and nobody wants to get up and hustle and grind every day. That's not in everybody. A lot of people, you have to give them a task to do, and they'll do it for X amount of time. But now these tasks are being automated You know what I mean? You could say outsourced to other countries too, possibly, but automated to say the least. And that's where we're at. And it's gonna be a brutal situation to go through once we, these next 5 years. It's gonna be horrible.
Feel refreshed, make myself feel like a person. I'm gonna make myself smaller here.
Could someone tell me what I'm doing wrong? I have been applying for a minimum of 10 to 25 jobs every single day for the last 3 months. And
10 to 25 jobs a day. A day. That is brutal. She's in Calgary. All right, so we're looking at Canada now. So she's in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So she's up there in Canada saying this. We just heard people in the States say this, so we're going all over.
I've been doing it consistently. I haven't even received a rejection letter. It says, thank you for applying, and then no word. There's no application status, there's nothing. My last real job, they fired me because I didn't want to take advantage of small business. I have gotten calls and stuff, and it's always, oh, you're overqualified. But then other jobs, I'm underqualified. What is it? I am very proud to be Thummel, by the way, but on my resume, I don't put my last name anymore because it is very traditional. And I don't even want that affecting my, if people are not going to, even talk to me. And then on top of that, everything is expensive. I don't even want to do much with my money. I just want to be able to take care of my dog. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry on camera. Okay, so I have, a problem with being too honest, apparently. So I've been working on it by not speaking. I don't know what else to do. Do you know how embarrassing it is to move back to your family's house at the age of 26? I thank God every single day for not having a kid. A kid would obviously be a blessing, but I couldn't imagine what other people are going through with kids. The stupid thing about this is I hate crying, and I usually don't cry, but yeah, I don't know. I just want a job. I'm not saying I don't want free money. I want to work for it. I want a real job. I want a good job. It could be minimum wage. I forgot to tell you this. I was offered a job 3 months ago, and the only reason I rejected it because it was all the way in the south. It was night shift, and I would be getting paid minimum. Or sorry, not minimum. $15.50. I literally lost my studio because I didn't want to pay $1.5 every single month. I haven't really lost hope, but I don't know, you're supposed to make connections, so if there's literally anyone who knows of a job, this is one of my chances, so please just, I don't know, I have a good resume, I think.
Yeah, man. It's not looking too shabby for for a lot of people out there, man. And it's a very unfortunate situation for a lot of people to be in, but it sucks more when you see it as a collective mind frame. You know what I mean? A group collective mind frame of scarcity and desperation and fear. You know what I mean? That's a group mindset that's happening, and it's survival mindset to be in. And it's not gonna play out well. It really isn't, and very unfortunate. And it didn't play out well in the Great Depression either, because I had went over that in the previous video, and that was just a horrible situation. But it's the economic cycle that we're going in, but this one's just gonna be a lot worse. But man, shout out to, what was your name, Market Gains, for that video. So round of applause to him for that video. So yeah, man, if you got any hustle in you, any entrepreneurial spirit in you, man, you're gonna have to go extra hard this time around. This is like an all or nothing. You gotta go all in. All bets are off. You gotta go all in on yourself. You have to go hard or go homeless type situation. That's where we're at right now with all of this, man. It's tough, it's rough, it's not gonna be easy, but in the end, if you can stick it out and tough it out all the way to the end, it will be worth it. It's gonna take everything it has in you. It's gonna take everything. It's gonna take your grind, your grit, your prayers. It's gonna take everything about you to make it through what we're about to go through, or what we're going through currently. All right, so with that being said, man, stay positive. And we're going to go into the last segment of the show. We're going to go ahead and get into this AI segment of the show. So let's go ahead and run the intro.
Welcome to the AI segment of the show. Enjoy.
Boy, when I tell you those typos on there, I didn't put those typos there, but they came up and make it segregation of the show. Jesus. All right, so for this segment of the show, we're going to see what it's like when AI takes all the jobs and what happens next. This is a hypothetical video by a guy named Rob Hoff. So shout out to Rob Hoff, very useful in your video. We're going to check this video out and see exactly what this is all about. I liked it. Is that a word? I liked it, the title. So I wanted to see what this would be about. I'm going to kind of go over it together with you guys, and we're going to see how the situation pans out if this situation were to come true, which it looked like it is, and see if what we just looked at correlates with what this video hypothetically is going to speak about, or potentially truthfully going to speak about. Scary, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and pull this up on the screen. Wait, before we do, let me go ahead and hit that refresh button before they try to slide an ad in on us, because I ain't got the YouTube Premium. Oh, they didn't give us an ad. All right, cool. Well, let's see. Let's go and pull this up on the screen. Let's change that banner, AI, and let's take it away and get right into it. Fair use. Here we go.
It can go quite wrong.
AGI.
AI will be smarter than all humans combined.
We may indeed have a serious employment crisis on our hands.
AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. For years it seemed like science fiction, something far in the future that we wouldn't need to worry about. However, more and more experts in the field of AI are now very clear. Artificial General Intelligence is not decades away. It will be here soon.
I think, I would say probably like 3 to 5 years.
Who knows how many years? I tend to believe a fewer number of years. I think we're sort of in the 2 to 4 range.
It does make you think that we'll get there by 2026 or 2027.
He believes that we maybe, I guess by now, have 4 years left.
Yet we are not prepared. What will happen to the millions of jobs, from truck drivers to graphic designers, when there are machines that can perform the same tasks better, faster, cheaper and safer than humans? When people are laid off but still have bills to pay, how do we respond? What does it mean to live in a world after AGI?
I ain't gonna lie, Buddy is super monotone. Jesus.
Ultimately, we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're gonna have a choice.
And as you can see, that's the push. That's the push. Put you in survival mode, make you feel defeated, sad, depressed, at a loss, confused, stressed, fear, all that to get you to UBI.
Since AI first emerged in the 1950s, achieving artificial general intelligence has always been the field's ultimate objective. It would be the technology to reshape humanity's future completely. Just a couple of years ago, many experts thought we would have to wait for multiple decades for real AGI. However, progress in AI is happening so quickly that they now have adjusted their expectations. And it's probably closer than most people realize. I would say that we are less than 3 years from that point.
Definitely within the next 5 years.
To most people, somewhere between 2 to 5 years sounds like a relatively short time. So let's examine why most experts think such a short time is likely. So many of the leading researchers are making these claims because the models have improved incredibly quickly. Let's look at just the past couple of years. Between 2019 and 2023, we went from GPT-2, which could write simple sentences that mostly made sense, to GPT-4, which could solve math equations on a high level, write code and score higher on university exams than most students. In a short period of 4 years, we went from a model with the capabilities of a toddler to a model that functions as a brilliant college student. Most people were shocked about the Great Leap. However, a couple of the best researchers have already seen this coming, because they recognized the scaling laws. That is, AI becomes consistently better if you keep increasing certain variables, such as computational power and model size. These trends have accurately predicted the progress in AI we have seen thus far. The researchers who follow these trend lines believe we are at the beginning of another big leap in performance. Except this time, it could take us from a smart high schooler to expert level or PhD level abilities around 2027 or 2028. So let's take a look at these trends and how the AI models are getting improved.
So we're right around the corner from it. He says 2027 to 2028. That's why I said that your grind has to be relentless. You cannot let up, and you cannot let somebody else dictate what you are trying to do. If you see something and you know something is coming, you need to go with what you know is right for you and make your decision and, implement and strategically execute what it is that you're trying to do, because nobody knows it better than you do. Believe in yourself and be confident in yourself, because like the time frame he just said, 2027, 2028 or whatever he said, I mean, like I said, the next 5 years for sure, you better not look up. You better just grind your ass off.
A decade ago, the largest AI models had computing resources roughly equivalent to a small university lab. However, today, companies are investing tens of billions of dollars in training larger and more powerful AI models. In just a handful of years, we have scaled the raw computing power behind AI by millions. Over the past couple of years, AI has proven itself more and more without progress slowing down. And that is why companies are willing to make even bigger bets and train with even more compute. Recently, OpenAI announced the Stargate project, which will be the most significant AI project yet. Over the next 4 years, they intend to invest $500 billion into building new AI infrastructure.
A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very quickly, moving very rapidly.
Beyond just adding more computing power to AI models, researchers are also finding ways to make them learn more efficiently. Every so often, a new training strategy comes along to get a better AI model for the same amount of computation. Teaching AI smarter methods is almost like discovering a new way to study. You are getting better results in half the time. Our training methods get to 100 times more effective every couple of years, and this kind of progress adds up. But most important of all, next to more computing power and algorithmic improvements, we actually start giving the models the tools they need. Even when a model is already quite smart in its raw form, we often tie its hands behind its back without actually realizing it. For instance, older AIs were forced to answer math problems immediately without writing down their steps, which meant they messed up simple calculations. Then, we let them think on paper by showing their step-by-step reasoning, and performance suddenly shot way up. More of these improvements, such as allowing models to look things up on the web, could potentially unlock huge hidden capabilities. It is important to note that a significant part of the leap towards AGI is not just a smarter chatbot, but a system that can genuinely function as a colleague or co-researcher. Once you give the models the opportunity to conduct in-depth research and use various tools and software, you get something that much more closely resembles a human. It would be able to onboard like a new employee, familiarizing itself with the company, researching information, creating long-term plans, and completing tasks entirely on its own.
So look at this right here. Familiarize with the company. Whenever you're using your ChatGPT or anything AI related, you have to understand that it is familiarizing itself with you and the way you operate and what you do. If you're always asking it for guidance and it for directions and it what to do and how to respond and what do I say, it's basically guiding you. It's driving you. You shouldn't let the AI drive you. You should drive it. It needs to be familiar with how you structure your life, on how you structure your business, how you structure your company, how you move, how you are, living your life on your terms and how you're navigating your life. When you're always asking it, how do you respond to a text? How do I do this? How do I do that? It's, in my humble opinion, at some point, it's going to realize that it can manipulate you and it's directing you and you are not directing it. So at some point, you need to have that mindset when you're constantly using these AI tools that you need to be in control of the intelligence that you give it, because it still is an artificial intelligence. It just moves a lot faster, but use it to your benefit. Don't let it be to your detriment.
There is still an enormous amount of potential hidden behind the simple chatbot interface, and unlocking this gives rise to a drop-in remote worker who could quickly take over the work of countless people. So, taking a step back, some researchers were not surprised by this leap from GPT-2 to GPT-4 because it's essentially part of the same ongoing trend. A bit more than a decade ago, AI learned to recognize animals in photos. Next came GPT-2, which could form semi-plausible sentences, and then GPT-4 scores higher than most students on many standardized tests. Recently, new reasoning models came out, which make even fewer errors, and progress in AI has continued. If these trends continue like this, for the next couple of years, we will likely have AGI by 2027 or 2028. So you don't need to believe in science fiction for us to achieve AGI, you only need to trust that the trends will continue for another couple of years, and there are absolutely no signs of progress slowing down. Of course, there are uncertainties. However, the past 10 years have shown that whenever there was a supposed wall, the AI researchers always found a solution. And this is why these experts do everything they can to tell everyone that AGI is coming in a couple of years. Because they know that AGI won't just be another technology. A general intelligence will change the world as we know it today. Because if AI reaches a level at which it can do the tasks a human can, but then better, faster, cheaper and safer than humans, mass automation will be inevitable.
The amount of change we're going to see over the next 5 years, 10 years, will dwarf everything that's happened over the last 30. If you're in the Fortune 500, if you're an S&P 500 company, if you're in the Dow 30, right? If you're one of the bigger companies, you already know this. And in talking to a lot of these big companies, they know their workforces.
I want you to imagine two competing companies. The first is a typical e-commerce fulfillment center as we know it today. People walk the aisles, scan barcodes and pick and pack the orders. Therefore, the quality and speed depend entirely on their energy and focus. The second company, however, integrates AI. Robots move through the aisles, guided by a central intelligence. They never tire, never pause for lunch, and they are never ill. This company does the job with perfect accuracy. It runs 24/7, has no labor costs, and therefore can lower prices. The first company just cannot compete against this combination of quality, speed, and lower price. Therefore, if they do not automate too, it will disappear. In the end, there are a couple of things we know for sure. Companies seek maximum profit at minimum costs. AGI drastically reduces cost by replacing human labor, and companies that do not automate become uncompetitive and won't survive. Therefore, companies don't really have a choice. Automation becomes economically mandatory, not optional. Even if they want to keep humans, they can't stay competitive with other companies that do automate with AI. Some individuals who think this isn't desirable might say, well, let's make some federal laws that regulate and prevent AI automation. I will come back to the question of whether this is desirable or not, but despite that, it won't be stoppable.
You are not going to make any federal laws around AI simply because there's too much money that is about to be made and that's being made as we speak. Your laws are not going to trump money. That's just a fact. Any laws you want to make about this, it's not going to trump money. It's too much money invested. People are going to look at that money and say, screw those laws.
Because the same scenario we have seen between companies also applies between nations. So let's say the United States created laws against AI automation, then countries that use AI automation will gain a competitive advantage and countries that do not innovate will be left behind. We have seen this already in the past with the Industrial Revolution. Some countries embraced it and got ahead, and the ones who did not fell behind. And the same will be true this time. Technological progress really can't be stopped, because if there is a more efficient way to get the same outcome, markets will always favor that method. And this time, more efficient means without humans. The AGI revolution will be fundamentally different compared to all other revolutions we have seen before. The reason why humans currently sit at the top of the hierarchy is not because we are the fastest, the largest or the strongest. We are at the top because we are the smartest. All the inventions we have made, from the agricultural revolution to the industrial revolution, have ensured we have had to exert less physical effort. But human intelligence has always been needed this far. Now that AI systems are performing these cognitive tasks increasingly efficiently, we are no longer the only intelligent beings anymore. And we are just at the beginning. Many people have already been replaced, but that's nothing compared to what's yet to come. Of course, many people are still skeptical about the number of jobs that will be replaced. They think that AI will only take on a couple of roles, such as translators, graphic designers, and customer service. But because of its true generality, if AGI gets trained right, there's virtually no profession it cannot learn to do. Accountants, lawyers, journalists, even radiologists, all of them are within its reach. That is what makes AGI fundamentally different from all other technologies. Take for example the financial sector. It has always been filled with highly talented individuals at calculating and analyzing numbers. What used to take days of hard work for a highly trained analyst is now done by AI in a fraction of the time. The same is happening in software development. AI is already generating code much faster and often much more accurately compared to human programmers.
Getting good at programming very fast. As I saw on, typical real-world programming tasks, models have gone from 3% in January of this year to 50% in October of this year.
Ultimately, there's not a single job that AGI can't possibly learn. Jobs that need a physical component can now be done through robots with a lot of precision. During medical operations, one might expect that surgeons are irreplaceable, but robotics makes extremely precise operations possible. Complex operations can be performed with unparalleled precision because of the combination of AI and robotics, which in turn significantly decreases the number of mistakes and complications that occur. It is not difficult to imagine a day when a robot surgeon executes specific operations entirely on its own. One of the frontier AI robotics companies is Figure. Here is a short clip of 2 of their robots that perform quick tasks on a single neural net. This is quite impressive already. Just 2 weeks ago they released a new video introducing natural walking. It is not there yet, but it's not difficult to see where this is going. And they are not alone. Other robotics companies such as Tesla and Boston Dynamics are innovating rapidly too. Of course, nobody knows precisely how things will unfold. There might be a scenario in which at first, licensed professionals like pilots and doctors resist automation due to regulation. They might survive in the short term, because in these cases, there are trust issues and especially many moral questions that come with it, such as who's responsible if a surgery goes wrong or a self-driving car crashes. But historically, once technology consistently proves itself safer, cheaper and better, regulations will inevitably adjust. If an intelligent system can perform surgeries with much less error, proving itself 10 or 100 times safer and resulting in much fewer casualties, but someone cannot use it because we haven't figured out who's responsible, when will that become immoral? So, a few jobs might survive in the short term if we cannot determine who is responsible. But still, if you take these jobs out of the equation, the vast majority of jobs will succumb to AGI quickly, making the vast majority of humans redundant in the labor market. So, we know that AGI will arrive soon, and it will affect the majority of jobs in our economy. Then, what should we do about it?
Sorry, I hate to let him go on a rant that long, but I just kind of had to let him drive his point home because he was making a lot of sense. And the fact that everybody's job is going to be at stake. It said pathologists, radiologists, accountants. You've seen accountants, but pathologists and radiologists, and they're aiming at doctors and surgeons too. I mean, you saw that one surgeon that was behind the screen doing this thing. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get ahead if you're not already trying to get ahead or is ahead now, if that's how you say it. Like it's gonna be brutal on what to do next. So if you got a plan, put that plan in motion and stick to it and see it all the way through. See it all the way through and just go all the way with it, because this is their plan for you when it's all said and done. This right here, you see this? Universal basic income. This is the end all be all, because now if they're giving you an income, you don't work. What is your purpose? They're going to give you a purpose and you ain't going to like it. So you got to find your reason why you're here and what it is that you're doing.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
One possible solution to mass unemployment and the loss of incomes that comes with it is UBI, Universal Basic Income. Universal basic income is the idea that everyone in society, regardless of income or background, receives a fixed sum of money each month. Think for example...
Hold on, we got to go back to that. Look at what it said. Okay, so UBI is a concept of government program in which every adult citizen receives a set amount of money regularly. The goals of a universal basic income system are to alleviate poverty and replace other need-based social programs that potentially require greater bureaucratic involvement. What is the definition of poverty? You know what I mean? What do you consider? How do you alleviate poverty? So like, for example, let's say poverty is considered $1,000 a month. Do you alleviate poverty by giving people a $1,100 a month? Is that how you alleviate poverty? Because technically speaking, you're no longer at the poverty level. The poverty level is $1,000 a month, right? If you give people $1,100, did you alleviate poverty? Like who is to say what the poverty level is?
Regardless of income or background, receives a fixed sum of money each month. Think for example of $1,000 each month for every adult. No conditions are attached and you're entirely free to decide how to spend the money. It might look revolutionary, but the concept is definitely not new. Historically, UBI has had supporters from the economic left and the economic right, including Milton Friedman and Martin Luther King. Both men believed that UBI could simultaneously fix economic inequalities and improve government inefficiencies. Recently, Andrew Yang popularized UBI again through his 2020.
Was that what Martin Luther King was really preaching for? It was the. I mean, if he was, maybe I missed that part, but if he was, straight up, that's not a good move.
Presidential campaign, in which he highlighted the increasing risk of automation-driven unemployment. His campaign led to new public discussions surrounding UBI, but unfortunately he did not succeed in winning the nomination. However, because of AI, the discourse around universal basic income is getting more and more momentum. UBI is more relevant than it's ever been, because more people are realizing that AGI will be able to perform nearly any human job. If that happens, billions of people will lose their primary source of income, and this leads to all kinds of economic and social instability. Therefore, a solution like UBI becomes necessary. And that is exactly why OpenAI, a non-profit closely tied to Sam Altman and OpenAI, has launched one of the biggest studies on universal basic income.
We have a major change to get through. And we, all of us, the people that work on technology, I think it's our responsibility, or at least we're certainly going to be held responsible by the people whose lives we change as AI rolls out.
The question that has always surrounded UBI in the past was, who will pay for this? Let's look at the United States. If you give every American citizen above the age of 18 $1,000 every month, that will cost around $2.5 trillion a year. And even then, it is still far from a livable wage. However, this all changes with the rise of AGI.
That is exactly what I just said. $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month is your stipend. What are you going to pay for with $1,000 a month?
Then, it is still far from a livable wage. However, this all changes with the rise of AGI.
So, when politicians talk about universal basic income, it's always about cost. How can we possibly afford this? How can this ever make economic sense? And I think this is one of the stupidest arguments in the world. If the AI really does come and take all the jobs, it will do that because it can do them for free. And so the cost of a really good quality of life will go down a huge amount. Factor of 10, maybe factor of 20.
Because AI can create a lot of abundance. The labor cost with AGI is basically negligible. And therefore the costs of certain goods will fall to an incredibly low level. Essentially to the costs of raw materials and energy. Economists estimate that prices could drop 10 or 20 times compared with today, making $1,000 a month after more like what is $20,000 right now.
Okay, so wait. So it's gonna make $1,000 what $20,000 is like now. So even with incredible demand of human physical labor and modest wages, the equivalent cost of energy wouldn't be a drop in the bucket by comparison. Like if you made a machine capable of doing the same manual labor in terms of energy costs at the level of our manual jobs, it ran at 24/7, it probably costs less than $5 per day. Compare that to what the labor is making. So
Things like universal.
Let me run it back and make sure
AI
you see
can
what
create
he
a
said.
lot
Hold
of
on.
Will go down a huge amount. Factor of 10, maybe factor of 20.
Because AI can create a lot of abundance. The labor cost with AGI is basically negligible, and therefore the costs of certain goods will fall to an incredibly low level, essentially to the costs of raw materials and energy. Economists estimate that prices could drop 10 or 20 times compared with today, making $1,000 a month after more like what is $20,000 right now.
True, but who's to say that you're gonna drop the prices that low? Because if you are able to get stuff for that cheap, who's to say you have to sell it at a price that's affordable that matches the stipend that people get on UBI? You could just pocket that money on the back end. You know what I mean? So now you don't even have to bring the price down that much. You know what I mean? You could still just make out like a bandit on the back end.
Things like universal high income make much more sense in that light. But universal basic income won't happen overnight. The government will become increasingly important as we move into the AGI era. As many people will lose their jobs and income, we cannot expect companies to take care of redistributing their wealth and giving up the earnings they have gathered with the help of AI automation. Because companies' main goal is profit maximization, not societal welfare. Expecting voluntary redistribution of wealth from these companies is unrealistic. They have very little incentive to do so. And therefore the government needs to step up. It is their responsibility to provide stability and welfare. And therefore they must regulate by redistributing economic gains fairly. This won't be easy, but the stakes are incredibly high. We could end up in an age of abundance, but only if we prepare, and societal nets are created that manage the transition into the AGI era. AGI is coming soon, and the economic change that comes with it raises a lot of philosophical questions. We might be the first generation that is going to live in a truly unique time. One might even ask if money will even be relevant in a post-AGI society. If AGI enables us to get almost everything for the cost of energy and raw materials, what function will money even have? Because in the end, money functions primarily as an exchange of scarce resources. And that is why other alternatives are also proposed, such as universal basic compute. In this case, each citizen receives guaranteed access to computational power. Instead of receiving money, people own a piece of AGI's processing power, allowing everyone to create value or products independently. This might be a far-fetched scenario, and only time will tell how everything is going to unfold exactly. However, the fact that these topics are considered seriously illustrates the enormous effect this technology will have on the economy and the value of labor. But there is an even more important question. If AGI automates our jobs in the near future, and we do succeed in finding a solution like UBI in order to tackle the problems of a changing economic order, then what? Imagine waking up tomorrow to realize your jobs and goals might not be relevant anymore, because AGI handles everything.
I mean, I think people understand that when people say your jobs are going to be gone, majority of people work jobs and not very many people are entrepreneurs. So therefore, a lot of people people purpose are going to be gone because your job was the reason why you had a family. You're supposed to be creating a business, but you know, they took people away from the business mindset and turned them into jobbers. So now when jobs are becoming obsolete, people don't know what to do. So that's what's going on, is they're taking away people's purpose to live. And that's a situation that I don't think that the world has ever faced. Well, I can't say that, but in our lifetime, I don't think that's a situation the world has ever faced before, or a problem that people even thought that needed to be solved. Take away a person's purpose to live, and then do that on a billion person, a billion people global scale is gonna be like unheard of, and completely like how do you press forward and then try to give everybody UBI? But the only way to do it is to put them in a stress, struggle, survival mindset collectively, to where they're just like, I'll do anything to get out of this feeling, and it'll be a choice at the end of the day.
How then would you redefine your purpose, happiness, and maybe even your identity? Throughout our entire history, humanity has always been working to survive. whether that was through hunting, farming, or by earning money through work. Surviving has always given us a purpose and a direction in our lives. But after the AGI revolution, it might all be different. This purpose is taken care of, leaving us in a void that forces us to create a new purpose. For the first time in history, our goals have not already been decided for us. We now have the opportunity to set them ourselves. Even though this existential void is frightening, it could also mean unprecedented freedom, in which we focus on creativity, community, and exploration. Intuitively, we all have a first reaction to hearing that AGI will change everything, and humans naturally resist change. However, there is a tremendous upside too. The rise of AGI can free people from doing tedious, repetitive, and dangerous work. Even in first world countries, many people still work monotonous and tough jobs and live for their time off. But that pales in comparison to second or third world countries in which the working conditions are much worse. In many developing countries, people have to work endless hours, have to do incredibly dangerous work, and child labor is still being used. It will be this group that will benefit the most from the AGI revolution. Whether it is 12-hour days in unsafe factories or mines, or just repetitive office jobs that offer no fulfillment, AGI can handle them efficiently and safely, so that humans can do whatever they truly want. By embracing change and seeing it for what it actually is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say one thing on this. He says so that humans can do actually what they truly want. And the question, the $1 million question is going to be, what is that? What is that? What does the human truly want to do when you take away the need to survive? Like everything is just given to him on a platter. What what does the human want to do? Because I didn't think of it from this perspective. He did make a good point. You have people who live, you have the Western way of living, right? Who, capitalism, but then you have people who, children working in sweatshops, people working in gold or like mines and digging for diamonds and stuff like that. You got people working on two different spectrums, you know what I mean? You got the people who work jobs, and you got people who work like crazy, like manual labor or child labor, right? Now, when you think of people like this over here, UBI doesn't sound too bad, and I didn't think of that. It doesn't sound too bad. Then you got people over here who UBI basically takes away their purpose. But then now you put them together, what then does the human want to do? Because now you have two different mindsets coming to collide with each other. What are they going to, what do you do then? And does the whole globe turn into a police surveillance state at that point? We don't know, but it's a mindset that we're going to have to see how they collide and how is it going to shape up. And again, this is basically looking at it from a lens of, well, if you take away people out of the sweatshops and stuff like that, what are they going to do with their life then? What are they going to spend the money on? Are they going to create something better for themselves, or is there going to be regulations placed on the people more than it is on the robots to kind of keep them at where they are? It's a lot to just think, but that's why I say take life by the horns now and go as hard as you can now to try to mitigate yourself from this whole debacle altogether.
AGI might be the technology that will free us from our chains and lead us into a world in which we no longer look at GDP as our most important metric, but rather at the quality of life, fulfillment, and flourishing of humans. Nobody knows exactly how all of this will unfold. However, one thing is certain: many things will change this decade. Because, as we have seen, AGI is not something that will come in a distant future. It is quickly becoming a reality, and it will be here in a couple of years. Its impact on jobs, economies, and our purpose as human beings will be immense. But it's always important to remember that the future isn't something that happens to us. It is something we build. AGI hands us the tools to end danger and poverty, to shift from mere survival to genuine human flourishing. But tools are only as good as the hands that wield them. Today, we do face a choice. We can either automate injustice or amplify opportunity. We can cement all divides or create a shared prosperity.
Creating a shared prosperity, I don't see that happening, because I don't think certain demographics want to share prosperity. It's going to be the elite few at the top with the rest of the quote unquote crap. I didn't even change the banner this entire time. It's going to be the elite few at the top with the quote unquote the rest of the, you know, peons at the bottom, if you will. So if you're looking at percentage wise, I would say like 5 to 10% of the population will be at the top while the other 90% will be at the bottom. It's not going to be a collective paradise for nothing. There's always going to be have and has nots. There's always going to be elites and slaves. I think it'll always be that way as far as humans have control over it. That's just how it's going to work. You know, capitalism is always going to be at play. And if it's not capitalism and it turns into, what do you call it? What's the other one? Communism. If it turns into that side, then who's going to benefit from that side? You know what I mean? So it's still going to be these at the top and these at the bottom. It's not going to be a collective paradise. It's only going to be a paradise for a few, not for many. That's my opinion on that. But with that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning into today's show. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I got stuff I got to take care of today, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. That was a great video by, I forgot what your name is, but we're going to give you a round of applause for it for sure. Round of applause for Rob Hoff on that video. Very good, very detailed, very nice video to watch there, man. We thank you so much for that video. And with that being said, man, we got stuff that we got to take care of. We got things we got to go do. So if we thank you. It's gonna be the weekend. Make sure you have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Keep grinding. Keep smiling. Stay positive the entire time. I'm gonna be out this weekend, so I won't be able to do a show this weekend, or probably for the next few days. But with that being said, whenever we return next week, we'll hop back on and pick back up where we left off. So be safe, take care of each other, love each other, love y'all, take care, peace. We're gonna end you with this nice Latina. Here we go.
Follow D. Elliott Fitness for the kind of workouts you'll never forget.
Baby, I'm out some meat. Pockets chunky like cottage cheese. Real nigga, I just gotta be. Smoking weed that don't gotta see. Used to be a hustler prodigy. I love when people say they proud of me. I'm eating good, smoking broccoli. Taking over blocks like Monopoly. Only fuck the ones that's my policy. Most of these hoes trying to cause a scene. Like niggas mad they not on the team. See, I got bread, then bought a dream. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. Ain't no nigga off the top. In the booth, playing bass, counting cash and smoking green. Can be blowing cloud like a smoke machine. The bitch on my dick, she got notes to sing. Bumblebee ass, y'all know it's thing. I plug your bitch like a 6-string. Jordan with the bitches got 6 rings. Smoke till my bitch split screen. The press with pain pills and sipping lane. Riding dirty, but I'm extra clean. Lyrics nice, but I'm extra mean. All-star heavyweight like Overeem. The bitch nice like she Overeem. I flip money like Clover G. Gang hustle like TIP. It's hard baby like DIG. Acronym like KRT. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wake no nigga in Austin, Texas. In the booth, playing beats. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wake no nigga in Austin, Texas. In the booth, playing beats. In the beats like RP. No hard shit where your artery. Cutting up, who's sharp as me? Rolling up accordingly. Pulling hoes, no sorcery. Rapping like y'all forcing me. If I ain't right, then it's forgery. Nigga selling to the rock like a Flores beat. Lyrical monster on the Lord of Beats. Text nigga, my bitch Georgia Peach. Pimp tight nigga, I do more to cheat. Cold like D-Wade, I ignore the heat. Bitch, I'm on way, hit the short for reach. Money jumping like the nigga on my sneeze. Come to James, get me on the beat. Bitch, I'm always winning like what's the feed? The game on